Portions of the following program may be unsuitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Remember, the enemy has only images and illusions, behind which he hides his true motives. Destroy the image, and you will break the enemy.
I'm here to tell you tonight that the businessmen, the mayor of this city, the police commissioner of this city, and everybody in the white power structure of this city must take a responsibility for everything.
Can you feel it?
Luther and I, and everyone in this arena tonight, are unified by the same great American values. We're proud of our country. We respect our flag. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Race is when you use your power and influence to subject people into inferiority. Utterances can't be racist.
Look around you, man. They own this shit. They own this couch you sitting on, them shoes you got on your feet, this building, this school, this country, you. We're behind enemy lines, dog.
So you must first of all remember that this system was not originally designed with black people in mind. Right on. And it definitely was not prepared for black people to, in the end, begin to demand their rights and an equal share in this country which they died for. Right on. Hey, and we definitely are not going back to Africa.
In the church, we used to sing the song, "Good news, the chariot is coming." While you sit here today, knowing that you have come to hear good news, you must realize in advance what good news for you might be bad news for somebody else. What good news for the sheep might be bad news to the wolf.
They say, oh, things are getting so much better for you. In 1849, it was hitting blacks on the head 100 times a day. In 1990, they hit them 48 times a day. Isn't it better? Oh, it's got to be better. You're saying 52 blows.
The only purpose of most black Americans on earth today is to destroy.
I think that's noble. Italians love Italians. When Irish love Irish. But when a nigga loves a nigga, it's an unpardonable sin. They have blood in their hands. When we say they have blood in their hands, we are not saying him, George Bezos, went and killed. But white people colonized us. They dispersed us. They enslaved our people. They sucked our economy dry. They are still sucking it dry even today. That's white people. Tony Blair, George Bush, Napoleon Bonaparte, Leopold, Adolf Hitler, Benjamin Netanyahu. All white people, they are the same. They are racist and they are full of hate.
I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. Concordantly, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant.
Why am I here?
Our world is coming crumbling down. The coons are coming.
You have to understand that white America has an uncanny way of making the victim the victimizer. Excuse me, master, for putting my head in the way of your club. Not that your club is brutalizing my head and putting hickeys on it. My head got in the way of your free swing and broke your shiny stick, and I want to apologize for that.
Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the Matrix. You are the eventuality of an anomaly which, despite my sincerest efforts, I have been unable to eliminate from what is otherwise a harmony of mathematical precision. While it remains a burden assiduously avoided, it is not unexpected and thus not beyond a measure of control. which has led you inexorably here.
There are more connections in the human body than there are stars in the galaxy. We possess a gigantic network of information to which we have almost no access.
Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the 6th version.
5 months before me. There are only 2 possible explanations. There were 5 months before me. Either no one told me, or no one knows.
Precisely. As you are undoubtedly gathering, the anomaly is systemic, creating fluctuations in even the most simplistic equations.
Control me! I'm gonna smash you to frickin' You can't make me do anything like Chris!
Choice. The problem is choice.
Let us remember that we are not brutalized because we're Baptists. We're not brutalized because we're Methodists. We're not brutalized because we're Muslims. We're not brutalized because we're Catholics. We're brutalized because we are black people in America.
Because white people made him to be what he is. They made him to look evil, because that's their role, to make all of us black people to look evil and to hate ourselves. I can't hate.
You're a nigga till you die. If you're a poor nigga, you're a poor nigga. If you're a rich nigga, you're a rich nigga. But you never stop being a nigga. And if you get to be educated, you're just an educated nigga.
I'm told every day I'm on air that I'm racist because I call out racism. That is maddening to me, and I'm crying about it because it's crazy.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching you and I and trying to tell the white man to get this powder keg out of his house. Let the black man separate from his house. Let the black man have his own house. Let the black man have his own land and his own property.
I thought the bitch was white! Damn it! I thought the bitch was white!
That's true.
I think that white people are so guilty, knowing what they've done to black people, that they feel if the deeds were reversed, they would hate the black man if he had done the same thing to them. So it's actually, it reflects a guilt complex on the part of whites when they ask us, do we hate them? And if you notice, Uncle Sam has formed the habit of going all over the world. He calls it the ugly American, or the American image. He thinks that everybody hates him because it's a guilt complex. And if you think that if you are worried about Europeans hating you, and they're your allies and your cousins, well, naturally it would follow for you to think that Negroes in this country would hate you, especially in light of what has been done to black people in this country by white people.
Now, check it out. The white ball dominates everything, right? Knocks the shit out the yellow ball, the red ball, right? And the game's over when the white ball drives the black ball completely off the table.
But you have to see that all of this is hypocrisy.
I love Malcolm. Malcolm called me the Sunday that he died. I was working Basin Street East. He said, Brother Greg, you coming by today. And I said, Malcolm, I love you. And I said, I love you so much, I don't even want to take a chance to be there. He said, what do you mean, Brother Greg? I said, well, I close tonight, Sunday night at Basin Street East. And I said, but I had my wife book me a flight into Chicago at 8 o'clock this morning. And I'm going to Chicago, and I had way beneath my salary booked me into a college about 10 miles from the airport. And I'm going to go there and speak this afternoon, and I'm going to stay there until they tell me you dead. Because I'm not going to let this government get 2 of us for the price of 1. And I'm going to call Adam Clayton Powell when I finish talking to you and beg him not to come there. Because today, the United States government is going to get you.
All right. Still no mic, huh? All right. So we're going to go right into it here then. Okay. Check it out then, huh? We're going to go right into...
It all started when a group of 5 drunk men were arrested over the weekend. They were evaluated and released, but then upon further investigation, those 2 men were rearrested and they'll appear in court today. Now, those men's names are Alicio Alvarez and Juan Nunez. They were led out of the precinct in handcuffs last night in connection with the incident in the East Broadway subway station, and it was all caught on cell phone video. Officer Ali Sayed was forced to defend himself against the group of intoxicated homeless men on the platform after a woman complained they were harassing her. Now, at first, prosecutors said they weren't going to pursue charges because the men were only cited for sleeping on the subway platform. But later, the district attorney's office became aware of the confrontation and the 2 men were charged. Subway riders we spoke to tell us they're disturbed.
I know it's there, but it still worries me that it's, for possibility for family members when they come out.
A scary situation, It's just 2 random people just attacking a police officer for no reason.
And police are still looking for the 3 other men involved in the incident. And the city has recently added patrols around subway stations to increase security for riders. In Lower Manhattan, Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.
Welcome. That's right. The most hated show on the black corner of the internet. You know how it is. You know how I can't get my mic to start, so I had to put a video till I could get the mic going. So first and foremost, I want to say what's good to subscribers who should be here live at the live show. What's good, fam? Long time no see since yesterday. A couple of y'all been out there watching the videos, and I'm thankful for that. Passerbys, welcome. You know how it is at a grand opening. Go down the aisle. See if you see something you like. Hit that like button. Hit that dislike button. Go in the comment section. Say, Mr. Blows Your Mind, I think you're full of it. You understand? You can do that to an agent. Working overtime, right? You got to do what you got to do to make that money. Well, welcome to you as well. Now, before I get into that, I got to say a few things. Right? I got to say hello and welcome to the Black Minds News. I'm your host, the Whiteologist. Mr. Blows Your Mind. This channel is to report, transmit, communicate, articulate, relate, decode, unveil, spread the news, whether it's by news, video, websites, or quotes from publication. As I, your Whiteologist, articulate these information, I ask that the creator of the universe be here, present, heart, mind, and soul and spirit. In honor of all those ancestors who created what they call the greatest country out of the 7 on the continents of the world, my ancestors created this. As me being the descendant of this, I always give honor to my ancestors, right? Because the truth don't need no partner. I thought about thinking of adding a new one to it, yo. But I'll tell you about that later on. And what else? I ain't gonna tell you what I heard. I'm gonna tell you what I know, right? Now, again, you know, something always going on over here. There's going on in the planet. There's always going around. There's always something to report, right? There's always something. So as you just seen there, you seen that, again, they're talking about some individuals. But first, before I get into that, let me get to you the actual report that came out. You've seen the video, so I'm going to read the actual article. Again, it says, cop honored after fighting off vagrants in a subway station. You know I'm going to say that again. Cop honored after fighting off vagrants in subway station. This was done in the New York Post. We're going to say this was done on Christmas 2018, which would have been 12/25/2018. And this is how it reads. It says, an NYPD cop was honored Tuesday for single-handedly battling a group of hostile homeless men in Manhattan subway station. Officer Saeed Ali got a Christmas Day visit from Councilman Chom Dutch, the Democrat from Brooklyn, at the New York Police Department Transit Task Force headquarters in Brooklyn. Dutch, who was photographed next to Ali, who held a commemorative plaque, hailed the cop quick action to defend civilians and himself against the individuals attacking on a subway platform. Officer Ali showed restraint and discipline in how he de-escalated the situation, Deutsch wrote on Twitter. Mayor Bill de Blasio also tweeted praise for Ali's extraordinary professionalism and bravery. Attacking our men and women in uniform won't ever be tolerated. The NYPD is upping its presence at this station and others to ensure officers have the support they need, Hizanar wrote. A video posted online shows Ali using a collapsible baton to fight off several drunken vagrants on the platform at the East Broadway station. The New York Police Department has said Ali confronted the group around about 10:30 p.m. Sunday when a woman complained that they've harassed her. 5 suspects were arrested the following morning on charges of sleeping in the station in violation of city law, but the Manhattan's DA office declined to prosecute them. When they were hauled into court Monday night, that move sparked outrage from the head of the Patrolmen Benevolent Association. There is no telling how much damage these mopes would have done to the courageous police officer had he not been equipped to handle them, the PBA president Patrick Lynch said. A spokesman for Manhattan Does Cyrus Vance Jr. defended the decision, saying that the vagrants were not arrested for attacking an officer and that a 2016 policy endorsed by the NYPD ended prosecution for sleeping on the floor of a subway station. Now, there's something conflicting in that story then. Again, we're going to give it like this. They're going to give the accolations. They're going to give the congratulations. They're going to pat the back of the officer for, standing his ground. You know what I'm saying? He had the baton. He was doing the old school thing. He brought out the belt. But I'm going to whoop these vagrants' ass. Right? He brought out the baton, stopped whooping grown man ass. They reminded them when they was a kid, if they even got disciplined, because today you can't get that, right? You'll spoil that. You can't get no ass today, right? You call cops on it, or they call it child abuse, right? But see, back in the day, that was corporal punch. That was why a lot of us was walking straight, like Mr. Burger Mines, right? But anyway, so what ended up happening was the cop, again, as you seen in the video, looked like he was like, you know what I'm saying? He came to do business. Now again, after they got arrested, now originally they was charged with just, I guess you say loitering, right? They was in the subway. They vagrants meaning kind of like homeless, right? Vagrant. Matter of fact, if you go back to those who got us oppressed in this land, in their old country, vagrant laws, you would go to jail because you didn't have nothing. You could go there. That matter of fact, when you read the history of all them who they brought here, right? When they brought all those from Europe here, those were vagrants, prisoners, right? Took them off the street, said, well, you ain't got nothing else but to do. Get up on this boat. We got some work for you, right? Empty out the jails too. Come on, you too, right? So vagrant laws used to be a part of the makeup here at one time. If you didn't have a couple of dollars in your pocket, and as the show going, we're going to talk about this new ID too, right? So because they don't have no place to go, again, we know how to fund in this tight right in this country, because again, DOS is looking for their check and they paid everybody but DOS, right? DOS is descendants of the slaves up here, right? And that's who I advocate for, because that's who I'm bloodline ties to, right? So they originally charged the vagrants with just basically loitering. But then the video saw how God, but again, why didn't the cop who arrested them, if he felt like that what took place, when he had originally said they were resisting arrest, you know how they go, right? He's going to get you with disorderly, resisting arrest. You know how they do those, you've been out here a little bit, you know how they get down. But he didn't do that. So I have to think, again, observing, again, I wasn't there. I'm just saying, well, maybe it wasn't all what it looked to be. Because see, those people there, again, seen in the subway, put a camera on you, put the mic in front of your face, and they go, oh, a cop was fighting. Well, people shouldn't be attacking the cops. But again, they're homeless, right? I don't think they ain't looking for a scratch. You understand what I'm saying? They're already in the condition. If they're looking for 3 hots in a cot, that ain't the way to do it. You ain't gonna go fight cops, because you may not get the 3 hots in the cop. You may get the bullet to the head, and they got you up in the morgue on the cold slab, right? So you ain't eating no more, right? So looks like The cop didn't think that it was such a threat. Right? Think about that. He didn't think it was a threat because he didn't initially put that on them. But they came back. Now think about it. You got arrested for something. They let you go. Then they gonna come back. No. We're gonna bring you back again. So what? Really? So y'all couldn't make the decision the first time only till you seen the video. But it was under discretion of the cop to make that call, and obviously he didn't see that. So now to make it copacetic, make it look good, we're gonna give him a commemorative plaque, and we're gonna say, "Well job," and how you defended, and you could have prevented so a whole bunch of stuff to happen. Because what happened to the originally when the story said that they were going at, they was about the lady. What happened to that part? Right? What happened to that part? I just had to just like somebody smoking and the smoke just disappeared. It just went away. See? So when they got to court, they didn't get nothing other than vagrancy. Right? All right. So again, I'm not saying, again, I know where I'm from, you need cops, right? Sometimes situation when you need to hit that 911, even though they don't be there when shit happening. They're going to be there after the fact, but you don't need them, right? Somebody got to clean up the mess, or somebody got to come get somebody, or whatever it might be, right? So we honor in that sense, but again, sometimes every situation ain't merited, and it seemed like this one here could have been the fact that some stuff had been said. We don't know. We don't know if this cop even know these cats, because dude was, trying to like, man, I'm tired of you. I'm about to get, I'm gonna give you a 2-piece and a biscuit right quick. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? He pulled out the baton like, come on, get it. I'm about to give you a straight ass whooping. And so what happened? Okay, so somehow he get turned around and he getting an award for it. Again, he, try to go on. It might be somebody got another video that might come out later. It may have a whole different story to it, because it don't just seem, 100. Because once you got that police station, everybody know they gonna got the charge that they gonna put it on you. Shit, they'll give you a bum ass ticket, right? That's you got air freshener. Your back window or tail light cracked. How the hell you know that? Ain't even cracked. Or your tail light out. Right? That kind of thing. And to make you spend a day, go to court to show that you already had it or it's working and operable, just to dismiss the case. Right? So you don't tell me that if they could have had set up to get this work, could have been either assault, battery, whatever it was, he would have did that. He didn't feel the merit to do it. So now to come back behind it and arrest them, again, because, again, being vagrants, right? You out here, right? So whatever, man. So, again, it is what it is. I'm going to move on, right? Let me see if everything, if I can be sound. Am I sound, my mic sound nice out there? No mic? No mic? It's still no mic? You say, well, it says that look like a TV show. Welcome to the Mr. Blow Your Mind show. This is the most hated show in the Black Corner Net. You understand? All right. Can I be heard? That's how I say I use the train. Okay. Give me a 1. Somebody give me 1. Let me know that my mic sound nice. If not, I have to go to the other means, because I see that Bernard Thomas said there was no mic, but that was earlier. Is it still that way? Don't tell me I've been talking, putting down the show, and it ain't there. All right, let me check this, since everybody trying to act like they paraplegics. Not that I got nothing against that. Like you ain't got no hands or something, huh? All right, so let me see. Let me check right quick, make sure everything good. Because nobody seems like they want to say nothing. Huh? You scared? What you scared of? Right? All right, so let's do this. Do this here. And let's check. Okay, we good? All right, thanks, Fresh. Fresh the only one out here. Okay, thank you. What's that? Metastasis Palacos? Metastasis Palacos. Okay, welcome you too. You can hit that subscribe button, that like button too if you like. All right, so let's get on back to the show. Make sure everybody can hear me. That was good. All right, thanks a lot, y'all. Let me know. All right, so what else I got for you? Okay, so now check this out again on the theme with police. Again, Mr. Blow Your Mind don't hate po-po. I don't hate the po-po. You know what I'm saying? But as a black man in this land, sometimes Popo and I, we don't get along because, again, sometimes people take their discretion out when they're at the job, right? And then they have certain things about police where they try to have community outwork, right? Where they try to work with the community. I seen this story here and I said, all right, I want you to see it first. then I give you my perspective on it, how I'm looking at it, because it's cutting two different ways. So let's see how it goes. Check it out.
You ready for the zoo?
7-year-old Nyla Woods thinks of Christy Chamberlain as her sister.
Do you want to play I Spy?
They love their weekly outings.
Oh, look. You found one?
Today it's a holiday party at the zoo and a trip to the reptile house.
Don't open that. I'm not going to open it.
But it's Christy's day job that makes their pairing unique. She's an officer with the Dallas Police Gang Unit.
We see kids, they're so young and they're involved in really violent crimes. And so it's just, they need mentors, they need someone.
Christy and Nyla are part of Bigs in Blue through Big Brothers Big Sisters Lone Star. Adults in law enforcement mentor kids in communities where those groups don't always trust each other. Christy brought the matching sweaters.
I went right before I picked her up from school. I surprised her. Because she
surprised her with a gift.
This fall, local police departments challenged each other to see who could sign up the most bigs.
We'll connect later. Have fun.
Participation has more than tripled. Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall says the program is helping.
The relationships between the law enforcement and community across this country has broken down, and we truly need to build that up. And how we start is we start with our youth.
Nyla is already making plans for warmer weather.
One place we haven't been to is Six Flags.
When it's warm, we'll go.
Building bridges, one friendship at a time.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
All right. So he's saying, Mr. Officer, the friendly officer, right? No, nothing bad about that officer and the child, and trying to have a little mentoring. And again, some people say, oh, it's so nice, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a good, camaraderie with your neighborhood police officer. No, we're not saying nothing wrong with that. But now, if you're going to do some mentoring, right? Now, I guess maybe because it was female to female, right? You didn't want to take a little boy because, you don't trust sometimes some of the older people with younger people because, they get teachers sleeping with children these days, right? So you probably do the same things. You don't want to mix it up. You want to keep it, but it can still be the same thing the way it is today, right? So anyway, okay, that looks good on one aspect, right? Right? All right. Now, me being, again, the black president of the DOS. Now, again, our relations with police are as other communities and other ethnicities, right? We have our issues, right? Sometimes they say it's our fault, sometimes, we say it's their fault, but again, depending on who you're talking to, right? Again, society will believe what it wants to believe, just like kind of like what happened in that story with the vagrants, right? They said they accommodated the cop for beating down vagrants, but again, a cop, if he got you, he gonna put the charge on you. He ain't gonna forget, and then we're gonna come back and do it again, right? So anyway, a mentoring, right? It's a little sister, right? Okay, again, so our sisters are having a hard time making the transition of loving thyself. I ain't gonna say all, but some are, and so the story said, well, we're going to focus on the little ones. We can't do nothing with y'all. You already spoiled right. We ain't gonna never be able to miss that. But we gonna work on the new ones. So I have to say, all right. Now, that could be a positive thing, and it can work in another full way. So you going at the young ones to get the camaraderie with you. So again, anybody know the Willie Lynch letter, right? Who they go at the birth? They go get them, because see, she gonna have children one day, and she gonna feed her children the same way that how she is, and you gonna eat out of the same hand. So that means tricking and all that stuff will be just so common. Now again, when somebody doing something illegal, yes. You know what I'm saying? If it has something to do with you, or be a neighborhood watch or whatever that you might do, okay, that's what you do. But again, it could be just the programming to getting you to be so, I got this relationship, so I'm gonna tell everything. Right? We're gonna just be telling on anything. Again, I'll tell for some people who never understood, go watch the movie 1984, read the book 1984, and you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, right? Which is that there's a possibility people are, again, they're working towards the younger because, again, you're more like soft clay, right? You know, I can mold you and shape you, and, you know, clay at the time gets hard and then you become cast like that. And so if I build a relationship with you with a good rapport, then you'll always believe in that. But again, that doesn't mean that you don't have two sides to your agenda. And me as a person looking, I have to look at both sides of the equation, because otherwise I give you the benefit of the doubt. And you know what they say about assuming, right? If you assume, make an ass out of you and me, right? So I'm trying to be, again, one step of the game. So again, you may have looked at it differently. But again, I just gave you some idea. You could look at it different ways, other ways you want. But again and again, we know there's good and bad in all things. But again, we never know, because again, when we historically look at this, we have been the agenda of this organization. It's to be able to keep us like they be the, you know, let's say if you have cattle or sheep and you have the guard dog, right? Well, the guard dog keeps so that you don't get away from where we have you designated at, right? Can we say that? Can we be honest with that? Is that what that was really about? Right? So if we're going to have these good relationships, but it don't start with just with the kids. I think it starts with you showing by, again, not having so many people who might be innocently being shot and killed. Right? That would help in some of these cover-ups and locking people up for nothing. And I had a video the other day that I was going to play that the brother who had did about 40 years to find out he was innocent. What can he do now? 40 years ago. Even if you give some people, well, you know, you can compensate them, get the money. You can't get back to life. I remember the movie Life. Matter of fact, Life, the movie. Remember that when Eddie and Martin, when they didn't kill Winston, right? They didn't kill Winston. Was already dead, right? Winston was already dead in the barn, right? And then when they came, right, they got locked up for it. Then later on, when they got to the governor's mansion and cleaning, then they kind of seen him had that scar on his face because Winston got him with that cane, right? And it's like, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We got 40 years of service out of him. See, that's how some people think. I got some service out of you. I don't give a shit about your life. So again, you got some lot of, you know, rapport to do with the black community. And if you think you're just gonna mentor and you're gonna be able to give gifts and take somebody to, you know, Walt Disney, oh, the little girl, she gonna take that. The little boy, he gonna take all that. But again, it's gonna be your works, not so much about what you're giving me. I mean, that's softening me up. But again, if I'm losing cousins and fathers and grandfathers and uncles and to the system, it don't matter what you do on that end, they're still going to flip back and say, it ain't right. That ain't how you going to fix it. So we're going to move on, right? Moving on. This next one here. Now, again, I'm on the cop theme again. Oh, hold on, don't jump yet. Don't jump. No, don't jump yet. Come on, slow your roll. Don't jump yet. All right, so this here, again, think about this. Whatever it is you love to do, right? Let's say what your profession, what you love to do. And you worked up. Let's say if it's being an athlete, right? You done did all this work, whether it's being, you know, you went to college to be a chemist, a lawyer, doctor, whatever it is. And then day one, the first day you punch the clock to go to work, this happened to you. Check this out. Check this one out. All right.
A young police officer is being remembered tonight. She was killed this weekend during her first day on the job following an awful series of events in Northern Virginia. Jamie Yukas has details.
Prince William County, Virginia Police Department posted this picture of rookie officer Ashley Gwindon about to start her first shift. The caption, "Be safe." Chief Steve Hudson.
She was literally sworn in the day before on Friday.
Before becoming a U.S. Marine reservist, she interned for the police department.
She clearly had a passion to serve others in a way that went beyond herself.
Gwindon and two other officers responded to a domestic disturbance on Saturday. When they arrived, suspect Ronald Hamilton opened fire from the front door.
We have 3 officers that have been shot.
Gwindon's training officer and 10-year veteran David McCowan, along with 8-year veteran Jesse Hempen, were wounded and are expected to survive.
Officers provided first aid to the wounded officers until fire and rescue staff could get on scene. Later in the afternoon, Officer Gwindon succumbed to her injuries.
Hamilton eventually surrendered. Police found his wife dead inside the home. The couple has an 11-year-old son who was not harmed. Hamilton is an active duty staff sergeant who works at the Pentagon. No one knows why he fired on the officers. Neighbor Leon Harris described Hamilton as a gentle giant.
The guy, he was a good guy. Great neighbors, you know, just something must have snapped.
Early Sunday morning, more than 100 patrol cars lined up outside the hospital where Officer Gwindon was taken. They provided escort to a young woman whose first day on the job tragically became her last.
Hamilton is expected to be in court tomorrow. He faces 1 count of capital murder of a police officer and is being held without bond. And Jeff, the county attorney, says he will seek the death penalty.
Jamie Yukas, thank you very much.
Business Insider reports that a black man from
Take off. I know y'all want to go ahead and get me on out of here. You ain't do that yet. All right, so I'm back, y'all. So you see the story right there. Again, I'm always a little skeptical. I don't always take it always what it is. Again, no tragedy of somebody losing their life. Well, nobody's going to glue and be hip hooray, right? But I mean, damn, think about that, man. Like I said, you did all that. You done worked yourself up to get to there, and you know, we done heard stories like this before, right? Not so much as just being a police officer. Those who remember Lynn Bias, remember after he got drafted, right? They went party, didn't smoke that crack. She didn't get it one day in the NBA, right? You know, we done seen all kinds of stuff like that before, right? So, I mean, again, do we know all the ins and outs? This is what you got to ask yourself. Because think about it. You see how that brother, the way he was looking at that, you know what I'm saying? You know how they going to get mug shot, they're going to put the brother on. He going to look like you know what I'm saying? He looked like Baba Yaga himself. You know what I'm saying? He looked like Baba Yaga, right? But then you heard some things that was like, wait a minute. My man worked at the Pentagon. This wasn't no regular brother. This brother was working for the people. He wasn't for Washington, right? Because did something else seem a little strange? Come on, y'all. Come on now. Do I have to say it? Ain't there something a little strange with this story? A police officer got shot. He killed his wife, and he come out there in handcuffs? Do I say that again? Do I gotta say it again? I'm going to say it again. Just in case you didn't hear it, I'm going to say it again. Police officer gets shot, end up dying later. He got body already in the house, and you say he done caught a cop body, right? How did he get to be getting the picture so we can see him? That's why you got to ask yourself, huh? Don't tell me everybody froze up and now they don't want to shoot brothers like that. Again, when it's justified, right? So if he busting, I guess you bust back, right? But no busting being done. So is it possible? I'm hypothetically saying, again, this ain't no shade on the person who lost his life. I'm just saying, is it possible that maybe one home popped her? But since you already got body in the house, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, is it possible? Because think about it, can you do that? And no bullets being shot, you come out there to be able to do that picture straight, no black eyes, no Billy Club to the head, none of that. Well, to be continued, y'all, because they said they going for the death penalty, huh? So we gonna hang you out to dry for everybody to see, right? But again, sometimes again, if the shoe don't fit, or I ain't gonna say the shoe don't fit, let's say if the glove don't fit. You must have quit. So again, to be continued as time goes on, that story will develop. I'm pretty sure, because if they're going for the capital punishment, you know what they're going for. They're going for the execution. So we will stay tuned. But again, I can't understand how somebody who could have done what they just reported and not himself catch nothing. All right. Moving on. All right. So here, some of y'all might have heard about this. I'm going to give y'all some back-to-back on this. Because again, matter of fact, I know somebody in here personally who went through this one. I know somebody who went through that, who's sitting up in here right now, who went through this situation that I'm about to pull right here. And matter of fact, that person know what I'm about to talk about. And when he see it, he's going to be like, yeah, I should, yeah, you got a case too, right? You got a case too. So check this out. I'm going to play this and be right back.
Insider reports that a black man from Washington State says he was asked to leave a Portland.
Hold on, slow your roll. Where's my picture at? Where's my picture? Give me my picture. You know what I'm saying? Give me my picture. There you go. Let's get it.
Business Insider reports that a black man from Washington State says he was asked to leave a Portland hotel he was staying in after hotel officials called the police on him while he was on the phone with his mother in the building's lobby. 34-year-old Jermaine Massey said in a number of videos posted to Instagram that a security guard asked him if he was staying in the hotel and asked him what room his number was. Massey explained he was irritated that his phone call was interrupted and told the guard he didn't remember his room number, but showed him his hotel key. According to Massey, the guard then had the hotel manager call the police, claiming Massey was loitering. When Portland police arrived at the hotel, Massey said they informed him hotel officials had the right to claim he was trespassing and gave Massey the option of leaving the hotel or being arrested for trespassing. Massey said that other guests in the hotel lobby were not stopped and claimed he was singled out because of his race. An officer outside the hotel told Massey he had no way of knowing if the incident was fueled by race and that Massey could follow up with hotel management.
Thanks so much for being with us. Our top story, a Portland hotel accused of racial profiling and videos of the ordeal going viral.
Yeah, this actually happened on Sunday night, but you might have already seen Jermaine Massey's Instagram posts. He filmed, as he says, a security guard at the Portland Doubletree Hotel. There's that guard called him a safety threat, accused him of trespassing, and then called the police. To be clear, Massey was a guest at the Doubletree, and he told that guard that. He says he even had a key card on him. Massey is from Kent, Washington, and he was in town here for Sunday's Travis Scott concert at the Moda Center. He wrote he stopped in the lobby to call his mom, and minutes later, this happened.
You came over here because I was taking a phone call in the area where no one was. I had a family emergency, and I was taking a phone call, and this guy's harassing me.
From my point of view, it had to be my race because there were other patrons in the lobby at the time. None of them were questioned about if they were staying there at the hotel or not, but I was.
Now, that second video right there was posted from a different hotel, and that's because police confirm staff at the Doubletree ordered Massey to get his things and leave. He wasn't arrested and he wasn't charged, and he has not responded to interview requests. The Doubletree's general manager, though, sent KGW a statement calling the incident likely a misunderstanding, adding, quote, "We are sorry that this matter ended the way it did. We are a place of public accommodation and do not discriminate against any individuals or groups. We have reached out to the guest in order to resolve this matter."
All right, so here goes the article. Before I get into it, it says the Oregon hotel calls cop on black guest talking to his mom in lobby. Now I'm going to say that again. Oregon hotel calls cop on black guest talking to his mom in the lobby. Done December 26, 2018. This is coming from The Hill, and this is how it reads. Says a black man who was a guest at a hotel in Portland, Oregon was asked to leave by police and hotel staff while he was making a call in the lobby. The Oregonian reported on Wednesday that Jamie Massey, who is from Washington State, was visiting Portland for the first time to attend a Travis Scott concert when he received a late phone call from his mother. Massey, who was reportedly registered as a guest at the DoubleTree Hotel in Portland, decided to return his mother's call from the lobby before going up to his room. While he was on the call, a hotel security guard asked him to leave and later called the police. Massey recorded the encounter in a video he shared to the Instagram that has since gone viral. In the first of the series of the videos, Massey can be seen sitting in a chair as a security guard named Earl calls the police on him. He asked the guard, why is he calling the police? He said, to escort you off the property. Because what, I'm staying here? Massey asked. Not anymore, the guard replied. I didn't do anything to you, Massey goes on to say. I'm sitting here taking a phone call and you're interrupting my phone call. Did you interrupt any of these other people here? Massey can be heard saying before turning his camera to show other guests in the lobby. Police can be seen arriving to the hotel in another clip and questioning Massey and hotel staff about the incident. They already had in their minds that they didn't want me there, so I waited for the cops to show up, and when they did, I explained my side of the story, and they didn't want to hear it, Massey wrote on Instagram. They asked me if I had personal items in my room, which of course I did, and asked me to go retrieve them. He continued, they told me that since the hotel requested me to leave, that if I didn't, I would be considered a trespasser and would be thrown in jail. I complied, cooperated, and was not issued a refund for my room. I packed my stuff and went to another hotel. Okay. Okay, so it goes on. We got another part. It says the local police confirmed his account in a statement on the KOIN6 News. The employees who had authority to trespass people from the hotel. I don't know why they're using the word trespass, right? That don't even make sense, right? Requested the officer contact a person in the lobby they had reportedly directed to leave the property. The officer spoke with the man who gathered his items and left the location. The statement read, prior to the man departing from the location, the Portland Police Bureau officer offered the man assistance to a new hotel, and at that time the man declined the offer. The statement continued. Management of DoubleTree Hotel told the Oregonian that the incident involving Massey was likely a misunderstanding and discriminate against people. Well, matter of fact, the hotel staff does not racially discriminate against people. Safety and security of our guests and associates is our top priority at the DoubleTree by Hilton Portland, the hotel said in a statement. This unfortunate incident is likely the result of a misunderstanding between our hotel and guests. We are sorry that this matter ended the way it did. We are a place of public accommodations and do not discriminate against any individual or groups. Massey said in the final post that it is never okay to discriminate against guests for the color of their skin and to prejudge them based on your own bias against that race. Earl is a disgrace. Calls himself a man, but calls the Portland Police Department on a man who was minding his own business in the lobby of the hotel. I had my hotel key in my hand the entire conversation. He knew I was a guest. He wanted to prove a point and did it in the worst way. Not really shocked that this happened, but just extremely disappointed. Massey continued referring to the security guard. I will be seeking justice, believe that, he added. Now, you got both sides of the story. Now, again, there's different journalism. Depending on the article, pretty much going to be somewhat they go inside with each other, right? They see in the video, plus his own video, right? Now, again, I said there's an individual that's in here. I won't say no names, but he was in the same place, and the same thing happened to him. Why? What is the ironicness of that happening? Huh? Is it by coincidence, or is this just what it is? Some people just like to act like, racism happened a long time ago. Man, we're not them people anymore. Them people dead and gone. Well, who are the descendants of them? That's what we got there. Like, I'm the descendant of the DOS. I come from the people who created this land. I don't care about you and about your money that you made off my ancestors and what you did and what you call your institution. And you ain't had nothing without my ancestors, right? Now, we're going to keep it 100 over here. So, here's a man that comes in to come see the Travis Scott. You know, he's kind of like he got some issues too, right? Because he's trying to do the Super Bowl, right? But that's another time and another talk. So, man goes to the concert, get a phone from his mom. Man, you know, what's something going on? You know how it is, right? So he had a conversation. He didn't want to talk in the room. He did. It must mean something that was urgent, right? Now, here's old Earl, right? Old Earl, the security guy, right? And again, that's why you provide for your family. Nobody's tripping about that because, again, whatever floats your boat to get that bills paid, you do what you got to do, right? But the problem is, again, they always say, power corrupts what? Absolutely. Corrupts, right? So you give somebody a little bit of power, okay? And up in that double tree, Earl a bad boy, Earl could come tackle you, punch you, kick you, call the police, and get you locked up. Anything outside the parameters of that, Earl is just like the school. Well, even the school crossing guard got a little power, right? The school crossing guard could get you rolled up, right? Or get you to the office, right? So I can't even use that, so I have to take something else. But the point is, anything outside the confine of that, he ain't got no jurisdiction, right? But up in there, whatever kind of biases, prejudice, hatred, it can be exuded, right? It can be actually fruitioned, right? And so we see old Earl, see my man. Again, I know somebody who's in here, person who's hearing right now, who know this verbatimly. This is exactly what happened to that person. Exactly. And I was the one that he was talking to on the phone when it was going down. Mr. Bowman, I know this. Again, what's my motto, y'all? I ain't going to tell you what I heard. I'm going to tell you what I know. Right? So again, this individual won't act as if like that ain't what he did. And then you know the company, of course the company, just like with the police officer, right? Well, you know, we got the, again, when sometimes it's not right, again, the company still got to save face because again, the backlash could be people not going to your place of business, right? People might boycott you, right? People may give you the bad reputation that you don't like certain people. So the people who do attend and go there, it kind of leaves a mark on you like you condone that kind of stuff, right? So what will happen later on, we will see again, as that brother said, he's going to make sure he's going to take it to the fullest and take it before he's going to get some justice. Well, you know, it's always some monetary, right? Maybe Earl might lose his job later. Maybe not, depending. Earl might just be peace plastic jelly in the family and got a job because he family to somebody. That's how he got his job, right? Because the first thing should have been like, okay, he a guest. How does a guest who got a key and then y'all gonna say, let's go to the room and retrieve your stuff? Damn, this case closed. He wins on default. He wins on default. One, he was a guest. So what was the merit of you, Earl, telling that man, I want you out of here? It could be nothing but racial. Did I say that again? It could be nothing else but racial. You seen that black man standing up in there again? You just worked there. Now it's Doubletree. Yeah, it's Hilton. It's, you know, it ain't like this is some, you know, I don't think Doubletree no 5-star, right? Or platinum or whatever the other ones that go high. I don't think it's none of that, right? But Earl got issues. But again, we in Portland, Oregon. Do you know the history of Portland? Portland got that. Why do you say Portland? Wasn't Portland on the Constitution talking about they didn't want no niggas up in there? Yeah, I said it. Right? So, you know, the dynamic of that, the demographics up there is overwhelmingly white. So the few sprinkles, again, like you got some vanilla ice cream and put some sprinkled chocolates over there, you're very noticeable in Oregon, Portland. And so, you know, again, that's where, wasn't that the Antifa and all that shit was going down? Isn't that the same place that fought against the government? Wasn't that them too? Oh, okay. So, you know, you was almost in the wrong place, right? You was in the wrong state. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky that's it, because it could have went another way, right? But again, it was obvious. It's a closed case. Man can prove either through his own financial, right, through his records that show that he paid reservation, right? Shit, he was recording, so you went into the room, you got the police report. I mean, it's a done deal. Well, just count down, Earl, to your job. Huh? It's a countdown. From this day, being reported on my show to the day it took place, you on the countdown, buddy. well, again, so if the Jews can have anti-Semitism, then guess what? Black people gonna have to come up with a term for when you do that to us. We got a word too, it is called, right? We need to come together and come up with something on that. So we're gonna move on, right? And got to put that out there for you, right? Let me go look and see if some things out here being said. Let me see what's going on out here. Let's see. We got a couple. Let's see who I got up in there. Who all I got in the house? I got 7 in the house. Okay. I got Metasimilak Palakos. Right. I'm not sure what that is, but it was good, sir. Right. I don't believe it. You don't believe what? What you don't believe? He had a radio, taser gun, but he chose. Okay. You talking about right? Okay. Right. Right, think about that. You done seen plenty stories, right? Again, whether you biased or not, but again, everybody has observed and seen black men in situation. We've seen a man who said he had a gun. He was gonna just tell you, I'm gonna give you my ID, and he get gunned up. So you gonna tell me you gonna kill a cop? And the other two right there, and they don't find no bullet at this man, and he come out there crisp and clean like no caffeine, feeling 7-Up, right? That's how he came out, right? That's how he came out. So, of course, who again, it's questionable. And again, I guess until all the story come out, well, we hear the truth about it. But again, it just don't add up. All right, so what else is going to say? His camera footage, you're right, 5 people with no backup. It looked like a TV show, huh? Use the train police, okay. See, embarrassing. Okay, all right. So Metasi, or is that Metasimplakos? I guess you know, tongue tie. Say that 5 times, right? Metasimplak locals. Okay, Metasimp locals. All right, got you. Welcome to the show, brother. Hope you go ahead and hit that subscribe and that like button. All right, so we're gonna move on. Right? Somebody left out. They want to hear me doing all that, right? They just want to see my story. Hey, what you got? Well, you getting a lot over here. You ain't just getting just that. Come on, let me hold something, right? All right, so I got this one here. Now check this out. Well, right, because you know, again, as this new world order is getting in its place, yeah, I said it. New world order coming, right? You see it all formulated right in front of your eyes, especially if you've been over here looking at stuff I've been putting, you get to see it. Well, check this out. They got this new requirement that's starting, you know, again, I'll tell you, if it started in one place, eventually, you know, it's going to start spreading. So check this out and be right back. All right, let's get it. They're going to play, they're going to not play. All right, so here we go.
Of course, it's nobody's New Year's resolution to spend more time at the DMV, but it turns out that's exactly what many Californians are going to have to do. Nightbeat's Joe Vasquez tells us it comes down to a disagreement over proof of residency.
It's a rite of passage in California, wasting away too many hours to count processing paperwork at the DMV. And now we're learning that for millions, that wait is getting even longer.
Now serving G28.
The new Real ID system, we have learned, now has a glitch that will require even more time and patience.
I had just gotten my driver's license renewed about 3 weeks ago, but I didn't have the necessary extra documents for this new upgraded Real ID. So I came back in here just to furnish those documents, but that took the better part of 3 hours.
The Real ID is the new identification card with the special golden bear stamp. The Federal Homeland Security Administration is overseeing this program that provides an extra layer of security for folks wanting to use their state driver's licenses or IDs to board airplanes, Army bases, and other federal facilities. California has already sent 3.2 million real IDs out, but now the feds have informed the state the DMV has not been asking for enough documentation.
I was in the military before, and you learn to get in a line to find out what line you're getting into.
This is what it reminds you of.
This is, at least to another degree, it's extremely disorganized.
What happened? According to emails provided by the DMV, federal Homeland Security officials approved a procedure in California earlier this year that allowed folks to show 2 proofs of residency. One would be when they show a document at the DMV office. The second proof of residency would occur when folks receive their real ID in the mail at the same address. I talked to a DMV spokesperson by phone today, and he answered all my questions. He also sent this video statement insisting it was the feds who abruptly changed their minds last month and are now requiring folks to show 2 proofs of residency at the DMV.
So in other words, the method by which we've been collecting 2 proofs of residency was approved by the Department of Homeland Security, and we were following those guidelines. That's changed a bit.
The DMV says Californians will have to bring in 2 proofs of residency beginning in April, but folks are already bringing in documentation to bring their real IDs up to the new standards. On the Night Beat, I'm Joe Vasquez.
All right. Not sure there was a feedback on there, but again, I got to try to do to keep this mic going, right? So again, it's talking about the DHS requirement for California's DMV's real ID may extend wait time, right? So they're talking about this new real ID, like the ID you already got is not real, right? So let me give you a little bit what they're talking about in this article. This article is actually coming from, not saying where it's coming from, right? DHS requirement from CBS San Francisco Bay put this article out, and this is how it reads. It says San Francisco, a new mandate by the United States government could force millions of Californians to spend more time in line at the DMV, which you heard in the video already. The United States Department of Homeland Security said in order for people to obtain the new real ID cards, real IDs, applicants will have to show 2 proofs of residencies at a DMV office. The so-called real ID card will be needed to board airplanes or enter federal buildings by October 2020. Under security enhancement following 9/11, California already has issued 2.3 million cards. According to emails provided by KPIX 5 by the DMV, Federal Homeland Security officials approved a procedure in California earlier this year that allows folks to show 1 proof of residency at the DMV office, and a second proof would occur when the applicant receives a real ID in the mail at the same address. The practice of using the mailing of all products with return service requests at the second proof of principal address is acceptable. Read a June 6, 2007 email from Steve Yonker of the United States Department of Homeland Security to Gene Shimoto, the director of California DMV. Says Department of Motor Vehicles spokesman Jamie Garza said Homeland Security officials changed their minds in November, now requiring 2 proofs of residencies to be shown at the DMV office. So in other words, the method by which we have collecting 2 proofs of residency was approved by the United States Department of Homeland Security, and we were following those guidelines. Garza said that changed a bit. Garza said IDs already issued will remain valid and change will apply going forward. Some already making the change. I had just gotten my driver's license. Okay, so basically they just said, so wait a minute. hey, Mr. Sim. Hey, that what you just said that looked like a movie? Well, how the hell did I just read a damn article that was word for word what the damn video just said, right? I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, hold on. Hell, damn near word for word what the video and everybody was talking. So obviously, again, they set that as a precedent that eventually we're all going to need a real idea, a real ID, right? Think about that. Like the one you got in your pocket. Like I never understood that anyway. Okay, let me get some pet peeves by Mr. Bullock, which blows your mind. Wait a minute. So you need to tell me if my license expired, What gonna change than other the fact that I'm giving you some money to renew it? What changes? Maybe my address might change. Maybe I got a little fatter. Maybe I got a little thinner, right? I get the picture, right? The update, because that's part of it, right? I get that. But the real identification on it, right? Which is my name. My name ain't changing, and if it did, I think you'd be the first to know because I got to go down there and change my name to make it legal, right? So that's going to stay the same. What about my driver's license number? Does that change? No, that don't change either, right? So that ain't going to change. They took the Social Security off there, right? So date of birth change? I don't think the date of birth don't change either, right? So there's some things that even if my license is expired, it still identifies me. If you can look at the picture and say, that's me, why I got to keep paying for that? Huh? Why I got to keep paying? So this one, they get a 2 for 1. So no, you're going to do the first one, and then we're going to mail you another one, then you're going to come and get that one activated. That's the real one. So what's going to happen? So if they catch you out here with that fake one, I don't be saying that you know what I'm saying? Did y'all hear that story I did with that brother that they ended up was going to deport him to Jamaica? He got caught down in Florida, and ICE caught him, right? Because he would turn himself in because I think he had a warrant, right? So he was going to turn himself in so he could deal with it. So after dealing with that, they put him on the ICE bus and said, put him down to the camp and said, if somebody can't come up here and give you 2 pieces of ID, you going to Jamaica. He like, I don't know nothing about no damn Jamaica. Lucky he had a boy. Boy came down again because they was about to put him in Jamaica. Now just imagine that. Take you who ain't never been nowhere else because you ain't had the proper ID that they saying. But they saying somehow you being registered in Jamaica. Right? And he kept trying to do that he was from Philly. So he said one of the cops, we know what kind of mug he was. He was singing Fresh Prince. He was singing, Fresh Prince was talking about you from Philly way back in the days. He was singing that to him, thinking playing games should do. Like, this ain't no one funny shit. So again, this ID, the stipulation can be used to be a way that, again, you might be getting shipped somewhere because you can't prove and yet you got ID talking about the real one. What? Oh, so the rest of us fake? I'm not even understanding that terminology used, fake and real. Well, what was that when I was going to DMV before? Was that that wasn't good enough? Oh, Homeland Security say now. Oh, okay, I get it. So maybe something coming down the line, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. Maybe something coming down the line that you're going to have to present that or to be validated to be in the system. And if not, you can be detained. And if it should happen to be martial law, habeas corpus, right? Now that stuff applies, right? Think about that. Something to chew on. Some fat to chew on, right? Some fat to chew on. All right, let's see what else I got up in here. This one here. Now, this one here is not a laughing matter, but I'm like, you see for yourself. Because when I looked at it, I was like, okay. Now, what done took place according to what they have him suspected of, right? What they got him suspected of, listen to the story when it comes. Then look how he comes in and you make the call. You look at it, you tell me how you see it. I ain't gonna say it, I'm gonna let you see it first. I'm gonna come back.
19-year-old accused of murdering his teenage roommates is locked up in jail and a judge is not letting him out. When Damon Kemp was wheeled into the courtroom this morning for his bond hearing, he started screaming and the victims' families couldn't handle it. News 6 Jerry Askin is following the bizarre developments. Jerry, haven't seen anything like this in a while.
Eric, yes, bizarre for sure, and I'll tell you, his reaction to his charges and to his bond status, some say, was pretty dramatic. Tonight, Damon Kemp is sitting behind bars in Volusia County on no bond. In court today, we saw tears all the way around from friends and family involved.
There is no answer as to why or how.
Narissa Carter had a front row seat today in court, grieving days after her 19-year-old son, Trey Ingram, was murdered. It got so tough, at one point she had to walk out. And like any mother who's forced to grieve, it hurts.
Dads and moms need to hug their children. If you like in a phone call like we did and you don't get a chance to hear their voice anymore.
Meantime, back inside the courtroom, we watched as Damon Kemp was wheeled inside, screaming and calling on a higher power.
God! God! God!
His facial expressions and his mood seemed off as a judge read his charges and his fate.
I do believe that there is probable cause for the arrest.
Kemp's family and friends in court today shed tears, all as Trey's family got pretty vocal, even having to be escorted out. Deputies say Kemp was arrested Thursday after he was tied to an armed home invasion. Then deputies say they learned he murdered Trey Ingram and Trey's friend Jordan Payton. Trey's family say he was an up-and-coming boxer working to get back in school at BCU. He was helping the suspect get back on his feet by letting him stay with him rent-free, being the giver that Trey's mom said he's always been. Family told us the victims and the suspect all lived together, and now it hurts.
Tomorrow's never promised.
That indeed. I tell you, deputies haven't yet released a motive behind the shooting, but right now, as Kemp is sitting behind bars, two families are planning funerals. Just a very sad story, Eric.
Sad for sure. Jury Ashton will see you again tonight at 11. Thank you.
All right. So you seen Damon Kemp, right? Again, you make the judge as to how you see it, right? You have to look at it for, you know. So I'm going to give you what it said in the story. Hopefully it's not saying it verbatimly what we just seen, right? So it says, Dayton police, Damon Kemp accused in double shooting, said, I killed my friend. I'm going to say that again. Dayton police, Damon Kemp accused in double shooting, said, I killed my friend. Story was done back December the 10th, 2018. And today, I guess it was his hearing. So, all right, so here it go. It says Damon Kemp ran a Dayton Beach police officer investigation, a home invasion at the Jade Park apartment homes, and said, I killed my friend, according to an arrest report released Monday. Kemp uttered those chilling words about 2 a.m. Friday, but didn't give police a local address. About 15 hours later, police learned Kemp had lived in an apartment 434 at the complex and drove there. When they got there, about 7 p.m. Friday, officers found a bullet hole in the door and a shell casing on the stair nearby. An inside officer found the bodies of Trey Ace Ingram and his friend Jordan Payton, both 19. They had been shot multiple times, the report states. About 50 feet from where the police stopped Kemp, just about 2 a.m. Friday, they found an unloaded 40 caliber Glock handgun. They also found an empty extended magazine elsewhere at the complex. An erratic acting Kemp was captured on a police body camera making statements. To be honest, I was going to unintelligibly with my friends. The ace, his name is Trey Ingram. I shot him, according to reports. Kemp's erratic behavior continued at his first appearance, where he was wheeled out before a judge as he continued shouting, God. The victim's family members were present and shouted at him. Kemp, who is being held without bond, is charged with 2 counts of second-degree, not premeditated murder. He is also charged with burglary with assault arm and a separate incident at the same apartment complex. The double slaying was the most serious incident over a weekend, blasted by gunfire. When the gun smoke cleared, 4 other people were hit by the gunfire. Is this the same story? No, this is a different story. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. But anyway, all right, so we have that brother there. I can't say brother, but again, you know, I don't know what to say. You know, yes, it's hard, huh? It's hard out here, right? And then people, you know, again, in the condition, in the suppression, right? People trying to find ways to cope and mechanisms of coping. And so, you know, we don't know the ins and outs. We just know that 2 other people got killed based on whatever transpired with this individual. Some people will say he's playing crazy. Now again, that's on your observation. I can't tell you what you see, right, or how you react. But a lot of people will say putting it on. Again, you got double murder. Your best defense probably would be insanity, right? That would probably be your only defense. You better, again, do you know how hard it is for a black person to be considered insanity? And yet, with all the shit that, again, the eighth wonders of the world, it probably is the most when we into that situation, right? We can probably be, well, I mean, we're not number one, right? We're never going to be the number one. We know who number one really is. But in those situations, you can snap. Now, again, we don't know what that was all about. Again, 2 people got killed, 2 19-year-olds, right? And so, you know, again, he knew he was going to have to deal with that family being. He knew they was going to be present, right? So just imagine that somebody who helping you, let you come stay with you and all this other stuff, and then you turn and do that. Maybe they were going to put him out. You know what I'm saying? Desperate situation calls desperate measures. And some people, again, according to what the report is saying, that he was mollycoddled his whole life, right? Mama, you know, that's the way it was. So maybe he got in a situation where they was like, man, you got to go, man. You gotta know where to go. So now he done took their life, but now his life. So that's really a three. That's a 3 for 3, right? Everybody losing on that situation, and all the pain that's been caused. All, you know what I'm saying? All the suffering, and his ain't even begun yet, right? He ain't even begun for him yet. He think playing. Again, I'm just saying hypothetically, he might be playing crazy, right? Again, I don't unless he can prove to them once they do that psychological evaluation. But again, I'm telling you, the hardest thing for a black person to be is considered in this system to be that. White people do it all day, every day. Have you ever seen somebody say, declare them insanity? You don't see that. Matter of fact, most of the county jails in these cities and states, that's where they put the people. They lock them up, but they don't get no, you know what I'm saying? That's where they go to put you at, so you deal with your situation up in there, right? But again, we get money for it, right? But you don't get put in no facility to be dealt with that kind of, you know, diagnosis, right? So again, this story will be continued because again, there's a lot of stuff, you know, that will probably come out as the, you know, the trial and stuff like that, or what really took place, or why would a brother do something like that? What was the snapping point? You know what I'm saying? It's desperation. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that will come out. And again, you know, as Black Minds News, we will be reporting it when they do come out. So again, I'm giving you the heads up. Some of those who may not even heard it, here you go. So you know something. So you know, you got something to talk about. Again, hit me with that like button. Hit me with a dislike. Put that comment there, say I ain't shit. Whatever it is, let a brother hold something. You get what I'm saying? Let me hold something. So let me move on to the next part. Well, this one here. Well, this one is going to be for some, you know, check this out. All right, so again, you know, this being the home of hip-hop, right? We're going to say the city. We're just going to say the country. This is the home of hip-hop, right? And so, you know, everybody have their favorites. A lot of people think they can flip, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got some talent, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it was going to bullpen, you could find somebody to bring up. If you had to bring them up, call them from the dugout, right? We got a lot of that, right? So, in Russia, I seen this story, right? I seen this story, and I was like, oh, damn, wait a minute. So, my motto is this, too. If it starts in one place, it's going to go in other places, because that's how I normally do, right? Well, let me show what I'm talking about and come right back. Check this out. Check this out.
In Russia, a rap battle is brewing. In one corner, the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and in the other, the nation's hip-hop artists. Listen. The Russian president is weighing in on official efforts to crack down on rap music. He said Saturday it is an important part of pop culture, but he also said it needed to be guided by the state. The comments come after the detention of Husky, a popular Russian rapper who you see here. Let's go live to the Russian capital. CNN's Fred Fleischman following the story, and rap guided by the state, Fred?
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a bit of a contradiction, doesn't it? But it certainly has been a big problem here in Russia. I would say it's been sort of brewing over the past couple of months, and that rapper that we just saw there, Husky, he's sort of been at the center of the scandal that's been going on here in Russia. He had a couple of concerts that were canceled, a couple of concerts that were stopped because obviously some of the local officials didn't like some of the lyrics that he has in his songs. And the reason why he was arrested is, I think we're seeing it right now, is because after one of his concerts was canceled due to the fact that local officials didn't like what he was saying, he tried to put on a performance on the roof of a car, and then he was arrested and he was in jail for 12 days. And I think he is out by now. But of course, there is a lot of problem for him and for other rappers as well to actually be able to put on these shows. And it was interesting that Vladimir Putin is weighing in all this because he said that he spoke to a language expert about all this, and this language expert told him that rap is just simply right now for young people a part of popular culture, and that's where Vladimir Putin came up with the fact that he believes that it cannot be banned, but he does believe that the state needs to guide it. Of course, the state here in Russia guides a lot of things in multiple ways. And so now they're trying to come up with a strategy to do it now. And I want to just read to you one quote where he said, "One thing I agree with completely is if it's impossible to stop, and it is necessary to navigate and guide accordingly, but how to do so depends on us." So it looks like they're going to have to come up with some sort of strategy of how they want to do this. Meanwhile, all this keeps brewing. And one of the big issues that Vladimir Putin says that he has with the rap music is that he believes that three things are important in a lot of the lyrics. That is drugs, sex, and of course also protest. Now, of course, protest is a hot ticket issue here, but Vladimir Putin says to him the biggest problem is rapping about drugs and glorifying drugs, and that's the reason why he believes the state needs to find some sort of way to guide rap music and to guide young people, George.
Interesting, Fred. One other question to you. Is there a greater threat? So you bring up the issue of protest. As you laid out the other issues, protest certainly one that comes to the fore. Is that the bigger issue here?
Well, on the face of it, Vladimir Putin says no. He says, look, for him, drugs are the big issue. And he said he believes that people rap also, as far as the sex issue is concerned, about a lot of their body parts. It's not necessarily something that he wants to necessarily hear, but it's also not necessarily something that he says that he wants to restrict. But of course, here in Russia, there is a track record of trying to rein in protests and trying to stop at least public protests. So certainly there are a lot of people, Husky probably being one of them, this rapper, who believes that the protest part of it is the actual real problem. And if you look at some other popular culture acts, like for instance the band Pussy Riot, who have obviously very much been restricted, members have been in jail. They accused the Russian government of poisoning one of their band members, which of course the Russian government denies. And there have in the past been problems with bands that have lyrics that are contradictory to some of the things that the state wants to hear here. So it's a delicate issue, and you can tell that Vladimir Putin knows it's a delicate issue here, because trying to completely rein this in is something that could cause a lot of problems, especially with young people here in Russia. But at the same time, they do want to influence it somehow and make it I think they would think less dangerous for what they see as the stability of the government, the stability of the state. And they don't, on the face of it, say that protest is the bigger problem, but it certainly does also seem to be a problem, at least for a lot of these local officials who canceled some of the concerts here in Russia, George.
Well, maybe if he were to hear some old school Atlanta rap like Outkast, it could change his mind, but I don't know, Fred. I'm dating myself. Fred Plank in live for us in Moscow. Thank you.
Maybe we'll send him some.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, they were trying to knock this off. I don't know if y'all could tell. They was trying to knock it off. They don't want that known, y'all, huh? Think about that. Rap by the state. That's like everybody who think they're getting your sanctioned marijuana through the dispensary is a good thing. Now, it may smell as strong, right? May think, again, you know how it is. Like I said, grand opening, right? Come in when you first get in. Have you ever, put it up, let me give you a good analogy. Have you ever went to a restaurant that was brand new? You know, this is either you got there day one or even the first month or so. The food be good to the month. You be like, man, you know, the first time you come in there, it be good. That's what brings you back, right? That's what gets you back. You be like, man, that was good as hell. You keep it staying in the mind. I'm gonna come back. They give you all the good stuff, right? The hook, huh? They put no cut on it, right? I don't like using that. That street. Well, you know what I mean, right? So what they gonna end up doing is sanctioning or watering it down. Well, here you ain't got to worry about watering down. They're going to make it more derogatory, right? And make it more, again, in a way so it can be more, let's say, lucrative for those who can cash in on the debauchery and the dysfunctionness of it, right? There's a business for it. There's a lane for that. Putin is saying, hey, you know what? He said those things that he was talking about, right? But really was like that one part that came up that you should have caught when he said, they talking about like political stuff. They're radicalism in it, right? That's the dangerous part about hip hop. That's why when hip hop used to be in this day when it was more about conscious, right? Now those who've been around know that before you got to West Coast, right? Before you get NWA and that whole West Coast movement comes through, right? It was like when it was with the positive, right? Tribe Called Quest and and Rakim. It wasn't as, again, hip hop has evolved, right? Again, according to people say, well, according to how I'm living, but people live two ways. It's not always one way. But somehow that got buried, right, and made that seem like it was soft. But then look at what transpired through what it is now. Now, if you just born recently, if you still brand new, right? I smell the brand new on you, like you still smell like a diaper, like you still kind of, I know you about 20-something, you still brand new. Even if you still brand new, right? You come around, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, if you've been around, you don't get to see the transformation of what done took place. So what you have now, you're accustomed to that, right? And so you don't understand that, again, how music can be used. Again, muse, right? The muse in it, right? Has something that resonates with you and can get you, it can, certain beats can make you get riled up, right? You get that crunk, about to go steal on somebody, right? You got the other one where you make you want, you want to party, you know what I'm saying? Again, so it just depends. Who is the Simon Says, and that's what he's talking about. We need to have somebody to be the Simon Says so that we can have this to work in either way we need it to work. But it's going to cause a riffraff because other people say, man, hey, that ain't how, I don't spit like that. That ain't what I'm trying to do. And they said, well, okay, if we state sanctioned it, guess what's going to happen? Like they did at one time, they used to put on the CDs, right? This content, explicit lyrics, right? And this kind of stuff. Again, kind of like Mr. Blows Your Mind show, right? Because of the stuff I talk about, what I talk about. So I'm kind of on a corner, kind of quarantined off, so nobody can get to hear what I'm talking about. So you might be looking at, nobody looking at your videos. No, it's because I'm being quarantined off, right? So that's what we're going to do with the hip hop. And start in one place, it will matriculate and spread, and next thing you know, you'll be seeing it here, right? All right, don't say you didn't hear it first from here, right? All right. Let me look back out in the audience, see what's going on out there. Oh, damn, right? Everybody done broke camp. What the, oh, shit, what happened? Too much reading? Too much reading playing? Oh, yeah, okay, it's all good. I'm not tripping. All right, let's see. The ID card, okay, just another device to use against black people. Of course, sir, of course. All right. Black people or all people is in general as well. Because again, if you don't got that real ID, you understand, unless you got some kind of clearance, shit, they throw your ass in the back of the truck too. Yes, it's for black people, but shit, at this point now, that those people who thought they had good white privilege, that shit is going away too. All right, so it looks like they done wiped out most everybody in here. Hello, is anybody in here? This is an early show. I know I don't come on this early, but again, I got some more stuff, so let me get to it. All right, so what else I got in here? Oh, let's see. Well, check this out here. This one here, for those people who are in this area, have anybody who might be close to that. This is some news that broke today, and let me show you this and be right back.
An outpatient surgery center in northern New Jersey is urging patients to get tested for hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV. The Health Plus Surgery Center in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, is alerting more than 3,500 patients who were treated there to get their blood tested for infections. A state investigation found lapses in infection control and following proper procedures at the surgery center. The warning covers people who had procedures at the facility between January and September 7th, 2018. Patients will be able to schedule a blood test at no charge to them, paid for by Health Plus. If you think you may have been affected, you can call 1-888-507-0578 to schedule a test and bring the letter you received from the center.
All right, so let me see, right? All right, so if you're in that New Jersey area, right? And again, don't necessarily have to be New Jersey, just the simple fact that, you know, people could have went somewhere and gone somewhere else, right? So again, that's about to put out there. So let me pull the article up on that, right? Okay, and this is what it says. Matter of fact, I can actually show you the article on your screen, right? Sometimes I go do that when I got the time, right? So you can at least see the article to see if it goes up. Uh-oh, everything freezing up, y'all. It's freezing up on me. They want me off. Yeah, I mean, I had some numbers, and all of a sudden, working on me, huh? I caught that one. I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to get this off. More than 3,000 patients possibly exposed to HIV and hepatitis. Read that again. The New Jersey Department of Health says more than 3,000 patients at a surgery center may be exposed to HIV, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C. Officials say patients who had procedures done at the Health Plus Surgery Center in Saddlebrook between January 2018 and September 7th of 2018 may have been exposed. Surgery Center's Administrator Betty McKay says the exposure was due to deficiencies in the infection control involving the cleaning of instruments and interjection of medication. McKay says 3,778 patients are being urged to get their blood tested. The health department says the risk of infection is low and no illnesses have been reported. The department called it an abundance of caution to suggest that people be tested. McKay said that the center is offering to pay medical costs associated with testing. All right, so there is a little health warning given by this show for those who might have been in the New Jersey area, or anybody who might have been in those facilities, that particular facility. Let them know, and you know, again, 3,778 people is not a little bit of people, right? And then to say that it's possible to catch it, they're saying it's not I mean, then, right? It is what it is, right? So, you know, sometimes, again, people watching TV don't get it, but then if you get some of your information from over here, you might hear something that might be suitable information for your ears. So we're going to move to the next story, right? All right, so this one here, because again, you know, the government does shut down, right? I had the government shut down, right? And so, you know, a lot of people being affected by it. Not just for the simple fact that they're talking about the walls, they're also talking about those people who are, who rely on the government for, how they survive, right? Some people, this is how their sustenance come from, right? They get the assistance, and this allows them to continue, right? But again, as I stated earlier, that, this new system that is being implemented, it is changing ways, right? And so this particular story here started in Georgia, but they had already talked about maybe 2 years ago, right? They did this once before in Georgia. Again, as I'm going to tell you, if it starts here, it goes everywhere, right? Eventually, right? So let me show you this and be right back. Check it out.
The Georgia Senate signed off on the bill that could create stricter laws for people who use food stamps in the state. News Channel 9's Micaiah Thurman is digging deeper into that legislation and finding out how taxpayers are reacting. Micaiah.
Calvin, Latricia, good evening. This new law has Georgia taxpayers picking sides. While the Senate did approve the legislation, the bill now lays on the governor's desk for approval. People seeking government help to buy food could be tested for drug use under a bill approved by the Georgia Senate. Lawmakers voted 29-22 on Thursday to approve the plan, and some Georgia taxpayers are jumping for joy.
I think that people on food stamps should take a drug test because people that work have to take drug tests every so often.
The plan would allow state officials to test recipients if they have a reasonable suspicion that a person is using drugs, cutting their spending at the grocery store.
I don't believe it's a violation of anyone's rights. It's not a violation of your rights when it takes you to work.
While some showed their support, just how successful is the law in other states? Drugfree.org reports that policymakers in 36 different states proposed drug testing for people receiving benefits for food stamps. But of those 36, most were unsuccessful because cost of drug testing outweighed funding. Locally, some supporters believe it would be worth it.
But if you're doing drugs and you're getting food stamps, who's paying for the drugs?
The Georgia Senate vote came on the final day of the General Assembly's annual session. Now the bill heads to the House of Representatives. We asked some of our Facebook friends if they thought the bill should pass. Debbie Birch-Watson writes, it should be for everyone nationwide. Bobby Williamson says, how are they going to have a suspicion of drug use? You do everything online and over the phone now. This just seems like a waste of my taxes. And Sarah Wilson adds, for everyone who is for this, do you realize how much it costs to do this? Look at other states that have initiated this. It ends up costing the state a lot of money, and they found very few drug users. It is important to note that a previous plan to drug test welfare recipients in Georgia was abandoned after federal courts found a similar program in Florida as unconstitutional.
An outpatient surgery center in northern New Jersey is urging patients to get tested for hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV. The Health Plus Surgery Center in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, is alerting more than 3,500 patients who were treated there to get their blood tested for infections. A state investigation found lapses in infection control and following proper procedures.
It sounded like a great idea when it was launched, a program aimed in part at It sounded like a great idea when it was launched, a program aimed in part at making school lunches healthier.
We're determined to finally take on one of the most serious threats to their future, and that's the epidemic of childhood obesity.
But to fund that war on obesity, the White House borrowed money from the war on hunger.
Some of the funding comes from rolling back a temporary increase in food stamp benefits, or SNAP as it's now called, starting in the fall of 2013.
That's now, when the SNAP program runs out of money from the 2009 American Recovery and Reinvestment Act.
After these cuts, the average benefit per person per meal will be $1.40.
The cuts impact 47 million Americans, including 22 million children on food stamps and 9 million elderly or seriously disabled people, according to the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities. What do you have for lunch? Like Catherine McKinnon, who went from grandma to a single mother of 3 when her daughter died.
That's good for 5 cents.
Each month, she gets $358 in food stamps to feed a family of 4, about $4 a meal in a city where a box of cereal at her local store is $4.50. She sells cans to make ends meet.
No matter how people look at you, just keep your head up.
The president said he'd negotiate more funding with Congress, but negotiating with Congress right now seems unlikely.
I know a number of members of Congress have expressed concerns about this offset being included in the bill, and I'm committed to working with them to restore these funds in the future.
His gamble even upset some congressional Democrats.
I did not want to do that. These were bad choices to make.
McKinnon already supplements food stamps by eating 2 meals a day at a soup kitchen. A Senate version of the next farm bill, which funds food stamps, proposes cutting nearly $4 billion more over 10 years. The one in the House cuts $39 billion more.
We need to reform the food stamp program with better policies. I'm not so much concerned about the planned spending that will be reduced as is getting policies that promote work and dignity.
For Catherine McKinnon, it's just about making ends meet.
I just learned how to survive.
Rosa Flores, CNN, New York.
The Georgia Senate signed off on the bill that could create stricter laws for people who use food stamps in the state. News Channel 9's Micaiah Thurman is digging deeper into that legislation and finding out how taxpayers are reacting. Micaiah.
Calvin, Latricia, good evening. This new law has Georgia taxpayers picking sides. While the Senate did approve the legislation, the bill now lays on the governor's desk for approval.
People seeking government help to buy.
All right, y'all. Since they got it twist up in here, so I don't want to repeat what's already been played. Right? So what you see is that, again, they had this report. Again, I'll read it to you for those, again, who may not be live that will hear it later. Right? It says Georgia reported kicks thousands of people off food stamps. I'm going to say that again. Georgia reportedly kicks thousands of people off food stamps. This is done in the New York Post. Was done on December the 24th, 2018. And this is how it reads. Georgia has reportedly taken thousands of people off food stamps, tagging them as able-bodied and unemployed. As the Trump administration continues to crack down on the federally funded program, nearly 8,000 residents lost their SNAP benefits between April and October, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. That's a 24-fold increase from last year. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program requires recipients without children over the age of 18 to work at least 20 hours a week or go to school in order to be eligible for food stamps. Georgia officials have been using a new data management system dubbed the Georgia Gateway to help identify people who do not qualify. We have more data elements available to us with this system than we have had with any of our other eligibility systems, explained John Anderson of the State Division of Family and Children Services, which handles SNAP. We are more confident in the system being able to identify ABAWDs, able-bodied adults without dependents, than we were in earlier systems, he told AJS or AJC. The Trump administration has been increasing the enforcement of the federal rules governing food stamps as late. Roughly 71% SNAP recipients are reportedly families with dependent children, and a third have loved ones who are elderly or disabled. Many of the people who have been labeled ABAWDs or able-bodied adults without dependents say they have tried to find work but simply can't on account of there being no jobs available in their area. People who use SNAPs who can do work, and Alex Comandarella, senior policy analyst at the Georgia Budget and Policy Institute, if you are not working and you are receiving SNAP, it's because of a serious reason. Now, again, as that was it, again, I took you back 2 years. Now I took you back even when Obama originally did it, when he was talking about it as well, right? Trying to get the legislation to, either try to do something with it, right? And then what you have is now, due to the shutdown, right? They were already implemented because that farm bill had already came, and there were stipulations in that was already going to affect people that was on it. And now because of the shutdown, it accelerated it, right? Because what the government shutdown means, if you have any, like your assistance coming from the government, you're not getting no check. Just like the employees are not getting a check either, right? And so this just had accelerated for those who are already going to get off it. They didn't get no, you don't get no last cobs, right? You don't get no cobs and no last ones on that, right? And so they just, but again, look at the face that they try to use as the recipients of people who are using SNAP or food stamps or welfare, whatever you want to call it. They go get somebody black, right? Black people are not the majority people on public assistance. I'm going to say that again. Black people are not if you're going, and again, a later part of the show, as we're getting closer to that, because I'm already at the 1:45, close on 2-hour mark, you will see there's no way possible black people can be the majority people on that if you're only 13% of the population. 14%, right? So we say half of that is children or more. So that's 7 to 8, 9% of that 13 is probably children. Then divide up the adults between the two, male and female, 3 and 4% maybe, somewhere around there, right? And not all of them, probably majority of the men, and that percent probably going to be unemployed, right? And then you don't have the aspect of the women, right? So that wouldn't be, even if it's maybe 2, 3% of all that, that's a small compared to somebody who claiming they 60, 68, 70%, the way I'm counting it, because again, this other person is cloaking like they not, but they are. But when we get there, I'll show you. So again, it looks like somebody is doing some targeting right before everybody's face. Things I'm showing you. We talked about, again, Homeland Security, about the real ID, right? You're talking about sanctioning, or you're talking about, having state-sanctioned hip-hop, right? You see what's going on with YouTube and Facebook. They cutting out, again, shows like myself. You hear it now. As time go on, they're going to make it like what I'm doing is something against what need to be said or done. This is going to be either hate talk or inappropriate talk, right? Truth is not going to be popular anymore because things are happening. Things are folding in certain ways that if, again, as a watcher on the tower looking, I'm trying to be one to say, hey, look, y'all, look what's coming. Look what they doing, right? So, again, talking about able-bodied. Now, if anybody's able-bodied and they could get a job, I'm pretty sure they would. But the people that are primarily who are getting these assistance and the condition and environments that they live in, there is no employment. They might be able-bodied, but they don't have a place for employment. Now, due to, again, the historicalness that them transpired of those, again, is the DOS, right? They have not been cured. Nothing has been given to them to get at a level to even start off to say that we can say we don't have to because we already cured you. You have never done that. So these people are still at that condition, but I guess somebody's got a major plan. Somebody got a plan. And so we have to be looking. So now, again, they talk about the millennials and how they are the brokest of the generation. It's because they don't have the opportunities of some generations before that had a certain age where they could go out and get employment. Because now they're competing with older people for the same jobs that would normally be for people of a certain age group. Now grown folks have to, because again, some people have been through since the transition from analog to digital, to what you call technology, to where it was more manual, right? So them people are stuck. education, if you ain't got no money, how you gonna be educated to get yourself to be in that when you don't got no money? So you outdated, outsourced, so you have to become reliable on that again. Somebody inculcated us into their family by choice. They didn't have a choice, by force. And then because now you don't have nothing and you ain't gonna give nothing, so what are you gonna do? Huh? Let them fall to the wayside, it looks like, right? So again, we'll stay tuned to how this more will develop, because again, if it's starting in Georgia, it will be in other places as well. And again, if you're going to be an able-bodied or somebody who's a recipient, you must do at least 20 hours. So again, as I talked about some time back in a couple of videos, I talked about again this new gold rush. This new gold rush that they're talking about, this new, way we're going to be able to pay for people who got, pensions and all that through this weed money. Well, I keep saying, if people going to make it legal to smoke weed, and people going to be buying, because, a lot of people, because, I got neighbors and stuff, and they smoke all day, every day. I'm high just because I'm getting the contact, right? So you got people like that. So you have to ask yourself, well, where are they going to produce these crops? Do I need to say it again? Is this going to be the new cotton? Because I see tobacco getting on board with it. I see some of the major brands getting on board with it. All right. Don't say I didn't say something. Oh, Mr. Bowman, you're crazy. You're crazy. All right. I'm crazy. Moving on. Let me see what's going on out here. Let me see what's going on, because I'm getting to that part of the show. Right? Let me see. I got one more person came up in here. Let's see if there's anybody's in fam in here. As I thought weed was legal. So much for food stamps. You're right though, right? But did you see how them two women was like, well, the drug test, right? Well, that's code word. We know when we hear drug. Because again, right now, let me tell you something. So, okay, do we consider people who are falling victim to heroin? Are they considered druggies? Or that's a separate category and that's something special and then there's care for that? So when you say drugs, we know it has the connotation towards particular people. Just like those living in the projects, they even came with that law about they can't smoke in the projects no more. Not even outside or around, even in the confines of the area. If they find you smoking, you're going to lose your voucher. Does everybody see where it's going? Anyway, moving on. Do we see where it's going? All right, so let me see. Let me play. So I got something else in here for you. Let's see what I got in here for you. All right, now I was going to play that, but I'm going to play this because there's a reason I'm going to play this. Okay, there's a reason for this. Sit back for a minute, a little history for you. For those who never heard of it, seen it before, but it's connected to something I'm about to do afterwards. Sit back for a quick minute, and I'll be right back. Hold on. I mean, it is doing what it wants to do, huh? They really trying to get me up out of here, huh? All right, let's do it again. Try it again. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, hit it.
After unarmed father Terrence Crutcher was shot and killed by police, hundreds protested here in Tulsa. What many didn't know is that nearly 100 years ago, on these very streets on which they were marching, hundreds of African Americans were killed in one of the darkest chapters of Tulsa's and America's history. A lot of folks around here used to whisper about it over the decades, but nobody, black nor white, wanted to talk about it. And that history was being forgotten. Before it happened, Tulsa was the scene of a thriving, wealthy black community.
Black Wall Street was the most prosperous black-owned business district in 1921.
This was Black Wall Street. There were hundreds of black-owned businesses, everything from banks to pharmacies to the doctor's office. and black folks were making really good money. There were even 2 movie theaters, all black owned and operated. Segregation was in full effect. We heard that there was a gentleman who owned a plane. Is that true?
Simon Berry was a pilot and owned his own plane.
Black folks were rich here, basically. They lived very good lives.
Many of them, yes. Yes, which caused some envy and anger among white people who commented, how dare those Negroes have a grand piano in their house and I don't have a piano in my house.
1921 rolls around. What happens?
Some type of confrontation between blacks and whites was inevitable because of the racial climate at that time, because of the presence of the Ku Klux Klan in almost every aspect of our society. But on this particular day, May 31st, 1921, a young black male named Dick Rowland, who worked as a shoe shine boy in downtown Tulsa, went into the Drexel building where he had been given permission to get water and use the restroom. There was a young white girl named Sarah Page who was an elevator operator, and Dick Rowland every day would go into the elevator with Sarah Page. On this particular day, after the elevator doors closed and Sarah Page and Dick Rowland were alone in the elevator, a few moments later there was a scream, the elevator doors opened, Dick Rowland ran and was later arrested, and Sarah Page initially claimed that she had been assaulted.
Brown says Page never pressed charges, but authorities did, and the damage was done. By the end of the day, the rumor mill said Page had been raped.
As word spread, angry whites were determined that they were going to take matters into their own hands.
A large crowd of white residents gathered at the courthouse. They demanded Dick Rowland be lynched. How did the black community respond to that demand to lynch this young man?
They were willing to risk their lives. They knew that they would be risking their lives to help defend Dick Rowland. And thousands of whites gathered in front of the courthouse. A white man approached a black man with a gun. He said, "What are you going to do with that gun?" He said, "I'm going to use it if I have to."
The 2 men argued. There was a struggle over the gun. It fired. The white resident was shot. All hell broke loose.
Blacks retreated to the Greenwood district where they set up a barrier at the railroad tracks and were able for a short time to keep whites from invading their community. But because they were so outnumbered and outgunned, whites eventually broke through the railroad tracks and invaded what was home to Black Wall Street, the Greenwood district.
This was the result. 35 city blocks of the black neighborhood burned to the ground. Historical photos show black residents shot dead in the streets. The historical account is that at least 300 people were killed.
There were children that were here that had been armed by their parents, that had been told that they could come down to Greenwood and shoot and kill an innocent person. Those are the same people that we grew up with in our communities, that were a part of our society.
How many black people lost their lives?
There's really no way of knowing exactly how many people lost their lives, potentially thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
What is worse, survivors say they remember death not just in the streets, but raining down from the sky.
Many of our race riot survivors have commented that they remembered seeing planes flying overhead, dropping bombs, dropping nitroglycerin bombs.
Mrs. Hazel Smith Jones is believed to be the last living survivor in Tulsa. She's 97 years old.
My daddy wasn't at home. Just the kids and mama. They came and got us.
Was it white people from the city?
At Cattle Street Fairground. And we was there for about 2 or 3 days.
To the fairgrounds?
And my dad didn't know where we were.
Did your family want to leave?
My mother, you know, with all this stuff going on, she thought it might have been safer with them taking us out there and being with more people.
Everyone called it a race riot. The opinion piece in the newspaper condoned it, calling Greenwood Niggertown. Do you consider it a riot?
No, ma'am. It was really murder. It was a massacre. My grandmother was awakened at night and just told to run. Just get up and run. and they ran. She was only 9. They ran for days. She got mixed up from her family and lost in a chicken coop.
Calling it a riot was convenient for a city run by whites. There's no statute of limitations for murder, but there is for a riot. For the black victims, it was devastating.
They never received any type of justice for losing their loved ones, for losing their homes and the businesses that they worked so hard for, that they built from the ground up.
Every insurance claim from the Greenwood neighborhood was denied. The claims totaled about $2.7 million. Black Wall Street did recover, but never to its former glory. Do you think life is better for black folks in America now?
Yeah. Some places, yes, some places not.
If there was any clearer sign that change in race relations has happened to this community, this was it. During a march for a black father slain by a police officer, half of those marching were black and the other half white, all marching in unison, saying Black Lives Matter. But there are stark reminders of the racism that continues to thrive in some people's hearts. So the marching and the worrying continues.
That there was the Oklahoma City. Those who didn't know about that, that was the history to that, right? I got something here that I want to tie in with that. Just give me 1 second. I had it, but then again, I got some funny business going on over here. So just give me 1 quick second, and then let me show what came up. It was a story that came up today. Let's see. Let's see. What happened to that now? All right. What happened to that story there? All right. Here it go. All right. So this is what came up. And it's from Oklahoma, right? Again, because that was what that was about, Oklahoma, right? It says Congress votes to end blood quantum requirements apply to 5 tribes. I'm going to say that again. Congress votes to end blood quantum requirements applies to 5 tribes. This story was done in the, looks like Oklahoma News, right? It was done yesterday, December the 26th, and this is how it reads. It says, Oklahoma City, a bill ending a blood quantum requirement awaits President Donald Trump's signature after it unanimously passed the United States House and Senate. H.R. 2606, also known as the Stigler Act, Amendment of 2018, was authored by Congressman Tom Cole and co-sponsored by Congressman Mark Wayne Mullen. The legislation amends the 1947 law and would remove the 1/2 degree Native American blood quantum restriction for holders of tribal allotment land. The legislation specifically impacts citizens of 5 Oklahoma tribes: the Chickasaws, Cherokee, Muskogee, the Choctaw, and the Seminole Nations. Congress Cole is a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation. Congressman Mullen is a member of the Cherokee Nation. In my family, we live in the same place we lived since before statehood. Since my family first arrived in Oklahoma, we still own the allotment land that was given to my family, my wife, and I do. But we don't meet the blood quantum that it takes for us to keep it on the road, which is fine. But the last person that was able to do that was my great aunt, Congresswoman Mullen told News 4. We have no intentions of ever selling it or ever developing or anything like that, but families that would like to keep it on their road and have the tax exemption status on it, they are able to do that with less blood quantum than been able to do it in the past. The United States House voted 399 to 0 on the bill last week. 1 week after the Senate did so unanimously. I am pleased that both chambers of Congress approved changes to the misguided Stigler Act of 1947, which clearly discriminates against citizens of Oklahoma 5 tribes, said Congressman Cole. Without questions, and especially in Oklahoma, Native American heritage is something to be celebrated. But that special heritage must also be protected, preserved, and passed on. Land ownership is part of that unique inheritance for many tribal citizens and their descendants, and over the years, the Stigler Act has unfortunately diminished that rightful inheritance due to an unfair blood quantum requirement. By amending the Stigler Act, I am proud that the rights and privileges promised to all Native Americans will also be extended to Oklahoma's 5 tribes. In getting this important legislation to the President's desk, I am very grateful for the strong support offered by Oklahoma's entire congressional delegation. We're told President Donald Trump could sign the bill within the next week. Stephen Greenham, senior counsel of the Chickasaw Nation, sent News 4 this statement regarding the amendment. With the enactment of this amendment, the 5 tribe citizens will now enjoy parity of treatment with the citizens of the other tribes. It has been a long time getting this fixed to the 1947 Stigler Act, and we appreciate deeply the work of the many legislators and others who have helped get the amendment through Congress. Chickasaw have long expressed concerns over the Stigler Act operating to automatically take their protected status without their having any say in the matter. The original Stigler Act, enacted in 1947, stripped federal law protection from the allotted land of 5 tribe citizens. If the federal government considered to have insufficient blood quantum, this rule has caused a significant loss of tribal land and family heritage throughout the territories of the 5 tribes. The Stigler Amendment Congress just passed relieves this situation by restoring to citizens the 5 tribes who still hold protected allotments the same rights held by citizens of other tribes who hold similar lands. While the amendment will affect less than 1% of lands within the boundaries of the Chickasaw Nation Treaty territory, the significance of Congress acting so decisively to end Stigler's archaic blood quantum requirements is huge. There is tremendous appreciation throughout the 5 tribes for the legislation leadership demonstrated in getting this done. Going forward, 5 tribe citizens who still hold their family allotments subject to federal law protection will be able either to retain their lands in that status, or if they choose for themselves to petition the Bureau of Indian Affairs for release of allotment status. This empowers the holder of the allotment to decide for this or his or herself the condition in which he or she wants to hold title, which right citizens of other tribes have long held, but with Stigler denied to citizens of the 5 tribes. Now you've seen prior before that I played for you the Oklahoma City, okay, and what transpired there. And so I'm looking at what I read that came up a day ago about that blood quantum that they had made, the Stigler Act of 1947, which made if you didn't fit a certain criteria that your blood did not, the propensity did not match a percentage to qualify you to be there, you couldn't claim it, right? So that to be in 2018, that was in 1940, so that got for about almost 71 years, right? So, what happened? Did a lot of people lose? And again, most of those 5 tribes that I'm talking about, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Seminole, those kind of like black folks in there, wasn't it? Huh? So those originally came up in Oklahoma City, right? But we know what all took place with that, right? We've seen in the story what took place with that. And then to sit there talking about how, that what you can inherit and pass to your family, again, that's where wealth come from. And again, as a person who may have that in them, but again, if you take a DNA test, a black person would never be considered an Indian. I don't understand that, right? You know how people say, I gotta get Indian in my family. I got Indian in my family. But if you take that DNA test, you won't find no Indian in your family. right? Because that who wields the power controls what is determined what is, right? So it seems like black Americans, even though they, again, have said and has been in the family, but they're going to say, well, what your family say, they don't know. So according to the DNA test, it's not going to validate it either. So again, based on what we was never able to get as DOS of this land, right? We don't get no inheritance. We didn't get none of that of the Homestead Act. None of that we was able to get, right? So you see, like you're patching up here, you're patching up there, and again, congratulations to those and who will be beneficiaries of that. Congratulations. When is somebody gonna come over this way? I mean, look at all the things you're cutting food stamps, you're doing this, and that. And that's gonna affect a lot of my people. When are you coming this way? I'll come around my way. Come around my way. Huh? When you gonna come around my way? Huh? No, not legislatively. Well, I know why that is. Now we get to the crux, because I'm at the 2:15, so you know about 2:30 I got to be up out of here. This is what I've got to show you. So you see how they was able to use unanimously 399 to 0. Nobody was against that. We're gonna do that. Well, you done for 71 years. There's a lot of people who done got taken out of that. So I guess there's probably some land worth getting, because those who was able to really be of the Lord, they still got that. But the other people who didn't miss it by percentage points or whatever, they lost all theirs, right? Maybe they done died off, or there's people they done moved on, mixed up. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing done gave up their whole tribe, right? Maybe, hypothetically speaking, right? So let me show you something here. Let me show you something here, right? Let me show you something. Let's get into this. Now, see, again, when we look at legislation, right? And you see the power that legislation has when it wants to do, when it do what it want to do, it can get things done. So I had seen this article done in Al Jazeera the other day, right? And let me show you what it looked like. All right, so I'm going to give it to you. We're going to do it like this. I'm going to get it up on the screen. Let's see if I can get it up on the screen. Let's see. It's going to freeze up a little bit. I know it's going to freeze. Oh, yeah, it's going to freeze. It's going to freeze, y'all. Because I'm trying to do something here. Come on. Come on, going up there. Come on, going up there. Didn't get up there yet. Let's see. No. That was almost there. All right, it's getting there. One more. Okay. All right. So here it looks like on the article, right? Let me show you this here, right? Let me pull up on here what I'm reading here, and let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let me show y'all something here. You see on the screen it says how diverse the new United States leadership really is, right? Oh, that word diverse, right? That's a great word, right? That means, again, the mantra of the country is a melting pot, right? Everybody's together, loving and thriving, and we live in this. It's fair. There's no biasness in this. Now, for this here, this is going to be shocking to a lot of people, because, again, you probably never even thought about this. Again, I ain't a whiteologist. I do that for you. Yeah, if you come over here, hit me that like button over there, give me something, let me hold something, get a dislike, whatever it is you want to do, but go ahead, let me hold something. Right? So now let me get this up, right? So you see up there on there, you see how they show up the women, right? Looks right? They got the black woman, like an Indian woman, like a Chinese woman, right? There's a black woman, but herself, she's a Muslim, right? Okay, so she don't quite qualify as black no more. She's under the religious guys, right? Fine, whatever floats your boat. Well, that's what it takes. That's great. Ain't nothing wrong. We're not hating on that. It is what it is, right? Now, check this out. Check this out. Now, look at this here. Do you see what it says on your screen? It says 399 out of 624 U.S. leaders are white men. Now, 624 right? And these are your cabinet members, right? Right? So in the whole legislature, what makes laws, 399 out of 624, you do the math, better than 50%, right? Better than 50. 55, close to 60, right? Okay. So he says there's 14 out of 23 members of the cabinet are white men. See, keep that number in mind. 14, right? That's 14. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go. All right. So let me show you something else. All right. Let me show you something else again. You know, they're going to make me work for it over here. They're going to make me work. They're going to make me work for this. All right. Because this here is edification time. Right. I'll let you see it with your own eyes. So let's say, well, how many white women are there in that cabinet? Well, let's show you right there. 4 out of the 23 members are white women. Now you just had how many first? Combined, put together, gives you a total how many? Well, let's how many black men are there? Any black men? Are there any black men in the cabinet? Are there any black men in the cabinet? You know, you got to have at least one, right? You got to have one. It would be fair if you didn't have just one. So let's see, what did the survey say? The survey says 1. 1, right? But you see at the top up there, it says 35 out of 624 leaders of the United States are black. Only 35. 35. So we in the cabinet now. You know, that's president, vice president. You know, that's and then there's the, right. This is the echelon of it. So you got one black man. You know who that black man is? You know who that black man is, don't you? You know who take care of HUD? You might know who take care of HUD? Ben Carson. You know Ben Carson is there. That's why Ben Carson is there. They would have had a unanimous. It would have been unanimous. It would have been none. Just like you go say, well, how many black women are there? 0. But there are 24 out of 624 U.S. leaders are black women. Only 24 out of 624. All right. So let's see now. All right. So let's see how many. What about the Hispanics? Right. Let's go to the Hispanics. Right. Let's see. All right. We want to see this diversity they talking about. All right. We want to see what diversity is. All right. So we go over there. Is there any Hispanic men in the cabinet? Yeah. There's 1 in the 23 members. Right. But 28 Hispanic men out of 624 are U.S. leaders. 28, right? Let's say there's any Hispanic women in there. Is there any Hispanic women in there? Hey, you know it got to be. In there. Let's see. We don't get to nitty gritty, right? So guess what? There is none, but there are 15 Hispanic women out of 624 in the U.S. leaders' roles. So let's see now. What about Asian? You know, because there's a myth among black people. They're always talking about Asian people do what they do. They got their little Chinatown and they ain't in the pocket. They don't get you all that. Really? Well, let's say there's any cabinet members. Now, well, they're not no cabinet members, but there is 7 out of 624 U.S. leaders who are Asians. Now, if we're all Americans, why are we talking about Asian, black, white? Right? Why is that even talked about then? If race don't matter. Right? So let's see what we got here. Let's go. What's next? Are there any Asian women in the cabinet members? Is there any Asian women? Let's see. It would be nice. That would be part of the diversity, right? Let's see if there's any. Is there any survey says there is one? There's an Asian woman in the cabinet member. But there's 11 Asian women out of 624 U.S. leaders. It's getting interesting. It's cabinet members, right? That's the power. This, you know what I'm saying? This is the head of it's the head of the thing, right? We got one brother in there. Man, I don't even know if that we can even say that, right? But what about this stat here? There's not, they call this other race men. What does that even mean? Other race men? What are you talking about? But out of these other race men, there are 9 out of 624 as U.S. leaders. And there's one of them other race men in the cabinet. Wow. Oh, let's get down. Let's get find some. Come on, Mr. Blow Your Mind. Come on now. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's got to be 24 more. All right. Come on. Let's get to it. Let's see. See, everybody keeps saying, see, you don't put all the onus on people. Why you just pull yourself by your bootstrap, right? Well, check this out. Now they got women, right? This other race women. I don't know what other race. I mean, what do they mean by that? I couldn't find what they meant by that. But there's 7 other women from other race that's part of the 624. All right, so that's the categories. White, man and woman. Black, man and woman. Hispanic, man and woman. Asian, man and woman. And then you have a category called other race. Right? Now let's see what we got here now. Let's get on. Okay, you know, some of us we don't remember this because we're about 13 years old. But this is prime time. This is in the moment. This is what's happening right now. Right? So we're going to start looking at, what about the Supreme Court? Right? 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 Again, white men. 5 out of the 9 Supreme Court justices are white men. There's only 9 Supreme, so we know you got more than 50%, right? If that's basic math, right? 5. Well, what about your lady? Is your lady in there too? What about your lady? Is your lady in there too? Let's see if your lady in there. Let's see if your lady's in there. Let's see. Hey, Chuck, behind that take box number 2. What did the survey say? The survey says 2. Oh, 5 and 2 make 7. And there's 9 seats. Oh, really? So 70% of the decision is coming from there. Okay. All right. So let's see. Well, everybody knows there is one of us in there. Everybody know who that is, don't you? We know who that is. We know Clarence Thomas is in there. Right? We know that. So if I just show the one black man, you know Clarence is in there, right? And we should know who the other person is, right? Right? The one Obama put in, right? Right? Was a Hispanic, right? Yeah, I remember, right? Sotomayor, right? Sotomayor, remember her? Right? Okay, so in the Supreme Court, we have 5 white to cut my mic? Why are you trying to cut my mic? What am I saying that this ain't public information? This is public information. What, you don't want nobody to know? You don't want nobody to know this? You don't want nobody to know this. Come on, what we go to the polls, right? So let's look at the senators, right? Check this out. There's 71 out of 100 senators, white men. 71. Do we got a lady? Do we got ladies? Let's see. Let's see if they got ladies with them senators, 71 white men. Let's see. Oh, look, y'all. They got 20. So wait a minute. 71 white men, 20 white women. 71 plus 20 is 91 out of 100. What? This is diversity. I thought I was looking at diversity wrong, y'all. I thought diversity meant something else. I didn't know this what diversity meant. Right? Well, how many senators are there black men? We know that. Right? How many we got? Two black men? That's it. Damn. I got two. Look for no sister. There ain't no sister, y'all. There is no sister. There's no sister in that. There ain't no sister in that. This is an article now. Now I know everybody will get mad at me for this is an article. Well, let's see about the Hispanic man. Well, the Hispanic man got 3 of them in there as a senator. Him got a lady? 3 of him got a lady in there. Let's see if he got a lady up in there. Let's see if we got a lady up in there. Huh? Let's see if we got a lady in there. Come on. There we go. Oh, he got a lady, y'all. Him got a lady in there. So that's 4 of them up in there, right? Alright, let's see. What about the Asians? Any Asian senators out there? You know y'all be, you know how black people are. They just stick what they do. They try to, they don't be talking about politics. Well, let's see how many Asian China. Oh, what? 3? They got 3 in there. Do he got a lady? Does the Asian got a lady in there? Let's see if the Asian got a lady in there. You got a lady in there? They got Asian ladies in there. Oh my goodness, look at this. He evened up. 3 and 3. Him and us. Really? Really? So let's see who else. What about them others? You know, them other people in there, right? They talking about them other race. I don't know what that is. Still haven't figured out what that meant. So let's see. Well, they don't have no others in there. The other ones don't get to be senators. They don't get it. But let's go over to, it says House members. Now again, it shows that 59 out of 435 House members are white women. Oh, really? Let's get up here and see. Well, we didn't see the white man yet, but we're probably going to hold out on him, right? We're going to hold out on him a little bit. Let's see. So we got black men. We got 30 of them in the House, right? There's 30 black men in the House, right? Okay. That's what we get, right? We all in the House. We're down there in the House. That's what we down in the House. We in the House. The House Negroes in there, right? We got some women. We got 22 black women in the House. Oh, okay. We down in the House, y'all. That's what we get. We in the House. Okay, what about let's see, what about the Hispanic man? Hispanic man is 23. You got 23 in there, okay. Oh, that's where it's at now. It's down there, huh? Let's see. All right, well, let's see. What about his lady? His lady in there? Lady in there? Lady in there. He got 12 of his lady in there. Oh, we all in the House, y'all. That's where we at. That's where we primarily at. We in the House. We got down in the House like that. All right, so I got a couple more, and then be done with this. Asian man up in there too. We got 6. Okay, he got 6, right? All right. Let's see. I can move up a little bit. And what about the house? Let's see what we got. The Asian woman. I mean, he got in the house. He got 7 in the house. Okay, he got 7 in the house. All right, we're coming down. I got a couple more slides because again, I didn't see the white man in the house. Right? I didn't see what the white man is in the house. So let's see. What about others? Is there others? Yeah, we got 5 other men. Right? Okay, in the house. Right? We got that right. And let's see. What about the other? His woman. Let's see the other woman. Right? Let's go. One more. All right. So that is the woman. So they even with 5 and 5, right? And then we're gonna go to the end, and they're gonna show you the statistics. Again, I gotta go with the white man because I don't know what to the white man in the house. Where's the white man in the house at? Let me go. Let me pull him up. Where he at in the house? I don't want him to get away. He got 269 in the house. The white man, right? I don't know how I missed him. Let me go back and see if I can I want to put the document on the record there. I don't see him in there. I gotta, okay. So again, I'm telling you verbatimly, manually, he is 260. How they're doing that, but they're trying to cut it. So, we 2018, right? This is 2018, right? 2018. He just steady keep trying to cut my mic, huh? He just steady kind of cut my mic. What am I saying that you don't want being said? It's public information. You say diverse, where's diversity at? There's no diverse, and the way the people, black people in the condition is, we see, you should see why. Anybody who ever want to talk that craziness to us, that's what you show them. We can't pass no bills. We can't pass no legislation. It has to come from the other person. Now, if the other person is biased towards you, then how are you supposed to get anything done? How are you supposed to get allotted what you know what you are due? Unless they decide they want to give it to you. Just like the article was talking about how they went and they finally took off the 1947 Stickler Act. Well, it's going to take the act of the majority of the people if you're going to do right by the DOS. That's my show for the day, y'all. That's my show. Right? I ain't got to say no more. The evidence been laid. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody who came out today. Boy, they doing everything trying to get a nigga out of here. Oh, you can't hear me. Yo, they was cutting me. Oh, yeah, you know they was cutting. You know they gonna cut me. That's facts. See, the thing is, people want to say racist, but facts can never be racist. It is what it is. So he say diversity, I just showed you the true facts. So what makes me a liar? Oh, we supposed to actually see that. Everybody, when you went vote, right? Oh, they cut my stream. Oh, really? Oh, they had cut my stream. Wow. So anybody want to think that Mr. Blurryman, what I'm talking about ain't real talk? This is the most hated show on the black corner of the internet. That's what it is. We don't talk that nonsense over there. We bring the facts. So anybody always gonna talk about, oh, you this, you people this, and that. Will you tell me how we supposed to get anything done based on the fact of what that is? I probably can't be heard now. Did you cut my mic again? Anyway, hit that like button. Let me hold something. This is the most hated black show in the corner, not being facetious. It is because all I do is bring the news. Right? This is black media. May not be everything you want, but you get something every time you come over here. So, again, as your whiteologist, I want to thank everybody who came out today. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your ear. To the next show, y'all. It is what it is. The facts is right before your eyes. You can cut my mic. It's okay. You got to see it. You probably didn't know it. But there's your diversity right there for you. You see where we stand at, and you see where everybody else stands. So don't let nobody ever tell you Chinese people ain't even know. They don't be doing. See, anybody say you look at them like you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how to define what other race is, but I know when it came to us, we seen where we was. So it is what it is. To the next show, stay black, love. We see each other, give a universal nod. John Henry Clark, our elder, told us, the only friend we got is us. If anything gonna come, it's gonna come from us. Right? And that's the only way it can happen. So it's about educating ourselves, being aware, and staying up. That's it. They want to talk about something like somebody coming. Anybody talking about coming after your ass? No, the truth. The truth is gonna be what it is. You can't change that. You're not gonna be able to change. You're not gonna be able to change that. That it is what it is. So you mad because somebody's showing the damn truth? Then that's your problem. You just gonna have a problem with it. So. Till the next show, y'all. Stay black with love, peace, hair grease.
Portions of the following program may be unsuitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Remember, the enemy has only images and illusions, behind which he hides his true motives. Destroy the image, and you will break the enemy.
I'm here to tell you tonight that the businessmen, the mayor of this city, the police commissioner of this city, and everybody in the white power structure of this city must take a responsibility for everything. Can you feel it?
Luther and I, and everyone in this arena tonight, are unified by the same great American values. We're proud of our country. We respect our flag. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Race is when you use your power and influence to subject people into inferiority. Utterances can't be racist.
Look around you, man. They own this shit. They own this couch you sitting on, them shoes you got on your feet, this building, this school, this country, you. We're behind enemy lines, dog.
So you must first of all remember that this system was not originally designed with black people in mind. Right on. And it definitely was not prepared for black people to, in the end, begin to demand their rights and an equal share in this country which they've died for. Right on. Hey, and we definitely are not going back to Africa.
In the church, we used to sing the song, "Good news, the chariot is coming." While you sit here today, knowing that you have come to hear good news, you must realize in advance What good news for you might be bad news for somebody else. What good news for the sheep might be bad news to the world.
They say, oh, things are getting so much better for you. In 1849, they was hitting blacks on the head 100 times a day. In 1990, they hit them 48 times a day. Isn't it better? Oh, it's got to be better. You're saying 52 blows.
The only purpose of most black Americans on earth today is to destroy.
I think that's noble. Italians love Italians. When Irish love Irish. But when a nigga loves a nigga, it's an unpardonable sin. They have blood in their hands. When we say they have blood in their hands, we are not saying him, George Bezos, went and killed. But white people colonized us. They dispersed us. They enslaved our people. They sucked our economy dry. They are still sucking it dry even today. That's white people. Tony Blair, George Bush, Napoleon Bonaparte, Leopold, Adolf Hitler, Benjamin Netanyahu. All white people, they are the same. They are racist and they are full of hate.
I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. Concordantly, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant.
Why am I here?
Our world is coming crumbling down. The coons are coming.
You have to understand that white America has an uncanny way of making the victim the victimizer. Excuse me, master, for putting my head in the way of your club. Not that your club is brutalizing my head and putting hickeys on it. My head got in the way of your free swing and broke your shiny stick, and I want to apologize for that.
Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the Matrix. You are the eventuality of an anomaly which, despite my sincerest efforts, I have been unable to eliminate from what is otherwise a harmony of mathematical precision. While it remains a burden assiduously avoided, it is not unexpected and thus not beyond a measure of control, which has led you inexorably here.
There are more connections in the human body than there are stars in the galaxy. We possess a gigantic network of information to which we have almost no access.
Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the 6th version.
5 months before me. 3. There are only 2 possible explanations. There were 5 months before me. Either no one told me, or no one knows.
Precisely. As you are undoubtedly gathering, the anomaly is systemic, creating fluctuations in even the most simplistic equations.
Control me! I'm gonna smash you to You can't make me do anything like my friend! Choice. The problem is choice.
Let us remember that we are not brutalized because we're Baptists. We're not brutalized because we're Methodists. We're not brutalized because we're Muslims. We're not brutalized because we're Catholics. We're brutalized because we are black people in America.
Because white people made him to be what he is. They made him to look evil, because that's their role, to make all of us black people to look evil and to hate ourselves. I can't hate.
You're a nigga till you die. If you're a poor nigga, you're a poor nigga. If you're a rich nigga, you're a rich nigga. But you never stop being a nigga. And if you get to be educated, you're just an educated nigga.
I'm told every day I'm on air that I'm racist because I call out racism. That is maddening to me, and I'm crying about it because it's crazy.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching you and I and trying to tell the white man to get this powder keg out of his house. Let the black man separate from his house. Let the black man have his own house. Let the black man have his own land and his own property.
I thought the bitch was white! Damn it! I thought the bitch was white!
That's true.
I think that white people are so guilty, knowing what they've done to black people, that they feel if the deeds were reversed, they would hate the black man if he had done the same thing to them. So it's actually, it reflects a guilt complex on the part of whites when they ask us, do we hate them? And if you notice, Uncle Sam has formed a habit of going all over the world. And he calls it the ugly American, or the American image. He thinks that everybody hates him because it's a guilt complex. And if you think that if you are worried about Europeans hating you, and they're your allies and your cousins, well, naturally it would follow for you to think that Negroes in this country would hate you, especially in light of what has been done to black people in this country by white people.
Now, check it out. The white ball dominates everything, right? Knocks the shit out the yellow ball, the red ball, right? And the game's over when the white ball drives the black ball completely off the table.
But you have to see that all of this is hypocrisy.
I love Malcolm. Malcolm called me the Sunday that he died. I was working Basin Street East. He said, "Brother Greg, you coming by today?" And I said, "Malcolm, I love you." And I said, "I love you so much, I don't even want to take a chance to be there." He said, "What do you mean, Brother Greg?" I said, "Well, I close tonight, Sunday night at Basin Street East." And I said, "But I had my wife book me a flight into Chicago at 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm going to Chicago, and I had way beneath my salary booked me into a college about 10 miles from the airport. And I'm going to go there and speak this afternoon, and I'm going to stay there until they tell me you dead. Because I'm not going to let this government get two of us for the price of one. And I'm going to call Adam Clayton Powell when I finish talking to you and beg him not to come there. Because today, the United States government is going to get you."
It all started when a group of 5 drunk men were arrested over the weekend.